yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you 250 miles above your imagination in the International Fake Station. I'm up here in this IT nightmare with our good friend and co-pilot Something Wong, who is here to make sure that we fly straight and level and keeps the bong pipe packed. That's what's most important, of course, up here in the International Fake Station. Wow, we got a whole bunch of cool people out here tonight. No game. What game? Anyway, we got Maria Walker. Good to see you. Woohoo, she says. I like it. I can almost hear that all the way up here. All the way up here. Let's see. Sparrow's in here too. Got Valley Parks. Memorial Gardens is here. Saddle Bum. Half Warrior. Roger. What's up, Raj? Hey, Raj. What's happening, brother? Let's see who else. You remember that show? That was one of my favorites. What's happening? Old rerun. I miss rerun. Anyway, we got Marcy Chan is in the house tonight. Let's see. ZXL Master. He says game on. I saw earlier where he actually phonetically spelled out an Arnold Schwarzenegger accent with "I'd be back." It was good. I was actually able to sound it out, and it was almost as if Arnold was right here speaking to me when I read it. It was awesome. Anyway, let's see who else we got. Marcy Chan, good to see you. Welcome. Mr. Super Sidewinder here with us too. Sidewinder, I'm going to record a Tom Petty jam that I thought maybe with, I'm not sure if you use a harmonica or not, but the wind instrument that you use, I think you could do the harmonica parts and dub that into it. So I'll keep you posted when I get that. It's You Don't Know, the song You Don't Know. It's You Don't Know How It Feels to Be Me, right? So I'll be sending you that soon. Let's see here who else we got. Eldon Bean in the house. I think that's pretty much. Here's Anson Howard way up in there. It's an international thing. Oh my God, 30-minute wait. I know, got PayPal says 30-minute wait. Yeah, but we're here now, and it's a lot later now than it was earlier. So, but still, much earlier than it's going to be later. So y'all hang on to that for a little while. Let that twist around in your mind. And as long as you feel more like you do now than you did then, everything's on ready to go. Wow. So we've had like some really cool stuff and some really tragic shit happening. Lucky Haskins did a video earlier today. I thought it was pretty good, and he called it just like it is. He said Tune was nothing but just a fucking piece of shit scumbag for saying that a guy should lose his kids because he believes in the biblical earth and not in this globe nonsense. Now that guy has just lost his fucking mind, you know, and he's been getting worse and worse and worse as time goes on. And you know, something he pointed out, you know, the thing is those guys, they think that once they're off the camera, they just put that to the side, but it's not. It's still back here nagging. It's still back there working on them. So they got to carry all that toxicity with them. Myself, I was going to cover Flatzoid's debate with Craig from FTFE, another toxic one. And I was going to cover that tonight about I'm going to wait and do that tomorrow because I've already watched it, you know, and it takes me a couple days to recover from Craig's toxicity and just what a creep he is. His voice just makes my butthole turn inside out. I mean, it's just terrible. Anyway, so we'll be going over that tomorrow. I don't know how many of you subscribe to Brian Young. He's got Here's the Deal channel as well as the Disturbing Illusion. He's also on X as High Impact Flicks, and he went down to a Trump rally. He's got a really good interviews, man on the street type shit that he did. It shows the cogniz of these people, man. It's pretty good. You need to check it out. But I guess he and his girl Trish, they come back through North Carolina. Now my buddy Mitch was over here the other day, and he had just been through Chimney Rock like less than a week before all this had happened. He goes down there every year, and he was on his motorcycle, and it was really kind of crazy because he was wearing this T-shirt, Harley Davidson T-shirt from a Harley Davidson shop in Chimney Rock. And it said Chimney Rock on his shirt. And I was like, oh shit, dude. He's like, yeah, I just had gone through there like a week before it happened, less than a week. Anyway, Brian had gone through this devastated area. I was just watching a video on YouTube here earlier of his. Also, welcome to the people over on Rumble. Sorry about that. I almost forget about that sometimes. Nobody over there. So that's fine, whatever. And it was pretty in depth, man. There was even a homeless camp that had been devastated. He put this up on Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it, a little while ago. And it's way worse than what you think, man. He was showing this area with this embankment that goes down probably maybe 15, possibly 20 feet down to by where the river is at. And the water had come up over that embankment and had gone over the tops of buildings up over the top of that. There was actually like a seawall. It is like, fuck the seawall. Who cares? It just went up there. And, but apparently right across the street from that area was a homeless encampment. Gone. Where the fuck are the people, right? This is going to be bad. Well, it is. But anyway, I just wanted to show this real quick. Really interesting.
All right, let me show you how bad the devastation is. We're sitting right here. This is the Swananoa River. That's the one that, well, one of the many that flooded their banks. But we're up here. I don't know if you can see this. We're up here on this hill, which is like a 12, 15-foot embankment down there. And you would think that they would be safe up here, but this is a collision center, Caliber Collision Center, and the water rose that high on this embankment. Looks like they've already started gutting this business right here. You can see in this parking lot how high the water got. All these cars are probably all totaled and they're just covered.
And look at the mud. And that's up over that other embankment. Look at the mud on these cars. These were cars that were going to be for sale. They're all totaled now. It was underwater completely.
With mud. Every one of those cars in this Caliber collision parking lot. There's a Food Lion or an Aldi right there. You can see the Aldi sign. Aldi got completely gutted. There's a sign for Walmart and Kohl's and some other stores. They got totally decimated up here. And you can see even the tree line. I don't know if you can see the water line in the trees right there. That's how devastating this whole thing was. You got light poles down right here. You got trees uprooted back there. No telling how fast the river was rushing by here. You've got,
man, there's whole chunks of I-40 gone. Just fucking gone, man. It's like, wow.
other businesses in the distance. All just got completely devastated. All these buildings are being gutted. They're contemplating on just bringing bulldozers in and leveling this entire area right here because of mold and mildew. Just complete devastation. All right, guys, this is Shane. He was kind enough to talk to me. We are out here in Asheville. Where is this exactly? What exactly is this called?
This is Swannanoa River Road,
Okay,
508.
The Swannanoa River Road. Okay. And we are right here in front of Caliber Collision Center, and you're running security to stop looters or whatever.
Correct.
I assume
There's a lot of copper and
Yes.
a lot of belongings still in these vehicles.
And one of the reasons we've stopped out here is because there's a lot of rumors online. There are people saying they've ordered 10,000 body bags. They're finding bodies in trees along roadsides. So we just wanted to stop and ask a local, what is actually going on? What's the truth of the matter?
Okay, from what I know, I haven't seen it firsthand, but from what I know from good sources and just overhearing, they come at, insurance adjusters and stuff that have to deal with this area have come in here and saying that there's bodies still in the mud and the reporting is way low.
You can watch the extended version of this video on my YouTube channel, The Disturbing Illusion. I'll see you over there.
All right, let
me see if I can link that video to you guys here real quick. Let me go over here to the whole video. Un momento. There we go. Share. Copy. There we go. Paste it in there. And if there's anybody showed up over here, a couple people, I'm going to put it over here in that chat over on Rumble as well. So if anybody wants to go over and check that out, go ahead. I should put it in the description too. I will here in just a moment. So then, meanwhile, oh, you know what? There was the link to it right the fuck there. I didn't have to go look it up. I'm a dumbass. Well, that's okay. We do that. So this is kind of cool. This says real quick, this could be anywhere in the South. Now I could see this being like right here near where I live. This would work out. Danny, if you're watching, you know this, right? This is when the government says they will come for your guns, but stopped at the neighbor's house first. Oops, we didn't calculate that one quite well, did we? So I thought that was kind of cute. I don't know if y'all knew, but you know, with all this, you know, we talked the other night that we, you know, this versus flood. Which way am I going? Oh, which way? Which way? Which way? Which way? Okay. This flooding that took place in Tennessee and North Carolina, especially up there in these mountains, which is they've never seen that kind of level of flooding ever before. So it was truly devastating. But what do y'all think of in the wildfires in Wyoming, which are still going on? You're not hearing much about it, but they're still happening. But when somebody, especially in this community here, if I mention Roswell, what do you guys think of? Right, automatically the UFO crash, right? 1947, all that, Colonel LeMay, all that bullshit, right? Okay. Well, it's flooded now too. They're just now getting flooded out really heavy duty now too. So let me bring some of this up for you real quick. It says, what's going on in Roswell, New Mexico? Their town is flooded. The people are having to be rescued. They haven't had this much rain since 1901. Just another coincidence? I wonder why. Does this county have something of value? Could be. Anyways, here's some video footage of Roswell for what it's worth. That's like torrential rain, especially New Mexico. Look at that. I don't think we need bad music. Look at that shit. I mean, I had no idea that. I mean, I've seen some heavy rains. I've seen heavy rains like in the desert, you know, like during monsoon season. And parts of California 190 right through Death Valley get washed right out. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, a big tourist attraction in Death Valley called Scotty's Castle is still closed from rains that happened, I think, in 2017. So I don't know, man. Then they had that big ass fucking earthquake out there. That was crazy. It was like a magnitude 7.5, wasn't it? I see who's Austin Murphy's in here. He was in that earthquake. I think it was a 7.5, wasn't it, Austin? Something like that. Anyway, as you can see, this is another area, and like you pointed out, is there something valuable there? Is it possible that there's something valuable there that they want? And I don't know. You know, given the track record of how these ghouls operate, certainly wouldn't put it past. But you're going to see as this onslaught of propaganda on all levels taking place in the next few short months. And I say short because I'm telling you, man, time is going by really fast. I don't know. And I know you get older and it seems like time is going by faster, but it's not just that. It literally is going, it's like whipping the fuck by. And so when I say short months, I don't mean that lightly. There's I think some big shit coming on the horizon. I really do. Can't remember the exact numbers, Austin. I know it was either a 7 or I think it was a 7.5, and then they downgraded it to a 7.3 or some shit like that. But anyway, it was a real. Did they ever open the base back up, Austin? Did they ever open China Lake back up, or did you get out of there before too long ago to know? Anyway, time hit 300% in early June. Well, I don't understand what you mean by that, Mr. Super Sidewinder. Can you delineate that for us, please? Yeah, I mean, up to like this was cracking me up. Now, you got to admit, you know, I don't like these politicians. They're a bunch of liars. I think most of them are fucking kitty diddlers and perverts to begin with. But you got to admit, Trump is an entertaining motherfucker, man. He really is. He really is. And I'm going to show you something right here. This was great. He's like he's a troll. He's a good troll too. But I was watching Tinfoil Sombrero earlier here, and I agree. I've heard other people say it too, that there's a big hit on the flat Earth just around the corner. So just be ready for it, okay? Because they are throwing everything they have at this shit right now. And I think it's funny. I really do. And it just shows desperation. It really does. And this whole Duffy guy trying to bully people into joining up into his shit show, you know, fuck him and his Antarctica. You know, you were offered the opportunity to test for curvature on one of the best places to do it, and you turned it down because you're not really interested in the truth. Will, you're not interested in the truth at all. You're interested in your little shit show, and there's something else behind this. So just like my spidey senses tingling at the beginning of this thing, they're tingling even more. I mean, yeah, exactly. Super Sidewinder, exactly. So yeah, but anyway, time will tell. This was really kind of interesting today. So Kamala, in one of her, I guess Trump has on to calling her now Lion Kamala, and she was on some interview, and she said something about that she had worked at McDonald's before, when indeed she hadn't. And so in a really, really brilliant troll move, Trump went and talked to a manager at a McDonald's and said he wanted to work there. And they put him in an apron, had him working a fryer and serving fries and shit. Now, yeah, okay, PR stunt too. But because the drive-through was fucking full of people. It was choked full of people. And the funny thing about it is he told the manager, he goes, yeah, the person I'm running against said that that she worked at McDonald's. We found out that's a lie. He says, I've always wanted to work at McDonald's. Can I work here today? And so they put him to work doing this shit. And so now and the left can't understand, why was he doing this? Well, he's trolling her because he can say, I've worked at McDonald's. You can't say it, Kamala. I think it's funny. And whatever about him, you got to admit the motherfucker is at the very least entertaining. Let me bring this up. This is him working.
I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again. Thank you. Look at that. Mr. Look at that. How are you? Thank you, Mr. President. Nice to see you. You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet you. You're not ordinary. I mean, thank you so much. You are not ordinary. I can see. We pray for you, and you are the type of person we want to be the president. Thank you so much. So nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, I took a bullet. That's right. Thank you, Mr. President. When you think about it, I guess that's right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I could do this all day.
And that's got to be a major piss off because those people were Indian, right? And Kamala wasn't. She's not Indian. No, she's black, right? Right on. No, more psyops. But I got to say that was one of the best. But there again, that's more of this. I'm just like you. I'm no different than you, you know? And they don't really believe that, but they've not ever led an ordinary life. Their experiences have been much different than yours. They've been privy to things that you've never even dreamed of. And they're trained to assimilating, acting like they're assimilated with you or something like that, like they're like you, so that you can relate to them, but you're only relating to an image that's being put out there. But I gotta hand it to him. It was a beautiful, beautiful troll. I thought this was interesting. Robot Polisher put this out today. We'll go over that. And as I said, I believe now I do have the link pinned, don't I? Yes, I do. So if anybody wishes to come up, pinned up in the chat is the link. Feel free, because we're going to be talking about all kinds of crazy shit here tonight. So anyway, this is part and parcel of what I was talking about and what I've been talking about for a long time about deception, how it's one of the fundamental tools used in warfare. And believe it or not, we're at war. Okay. Anyway, I ran across this from Robot Polisher and I thought it was pretty good.
There's a lot of developments and a lot of phenomenon that if you understand that phenomenon, it's a gateway, a keyhole into a larger understanding.
Today we're going to be talking to you about magic, war, and intelligence.
Talking about social engineering, the clever manipulation of the natural human tendency to trust.
Deception in warfare goes back to early history. But in the 19th and 20th century, it became more sophisticated as magicians such as George Méliès began to apply the methods from stage magic to the new medium of motion pictures, thereby pioneering special effects. As the movie industry grew and technology improved, these effects became more convincing. By World War II, these deceptions that had been used to entertain audiences were being used on a larger scale
to defeat the enemy.
This intersection between magic, special effects, military, and intelligence is fascinating.
When you're designing magic for TV, you want everything to be burnable. Burnable means the audience can continue to watch it with unblinking eyes, even rewind the footage, and still not understand how the deception works.
Using technology, basically, to perform a magic trick, which is not uncommon. Technology and magic have gone forward through history together.
And for my next trick, I will catch a rocket with some chopsticks.
Now there's the military catching this robot flying around with no propulsion system they can see, and then it zips off at Mach 20, and these things disappear into the ocean, all the rest of it. You didn't start seeing these till after World War II.
If you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. The lie can be maintained only for such time as the state can shield the people from the political.
Hey, and those things right there are pretty cool, man. I had a little clock years ago. It just had one little thing that went back and forth. But as it went back and forth, it made these LED messages and the time and shit appear like it was floating between these two posts. But it was just this little stick with an LED thing on it, but it was programmed so that it was really cool. And that was a couple of years ago. And now you can get these things like a virtual Christmas tree, Halloween shit. You can set it up out there. It looks like there's a ghost hanging out in the yard. I mean, if they can do that with that little bit of shit, just, man, the stuff they can actually do with projection is just amazing. Anyway,
economic and or military consequences of the lie. It thus becomes vitally important for the state to use all of its powers to repress dissent, for the truth is the mortal enemy of the lie, and thus by extension, the truth is the greatest enemy of the state.
These are man-made. The breakaway civilization has super advanced technologies they're suppressing. This advanced technology that's really the equivalent of the year 2050 or beyond is branches of the Pentagon and the deep state doing a psyop humans following a satanic off-world fallen angel entity plan to roll all of this out to at some point with the hologram projections they have that I told you about 30 years ago that they now, use and do, where you see a giant snake in the sky or Godzilla or whatever they want.
They are literally creating fake holographic images and
You see that crazy shit? Okay, here we're going into it now. Now we're getting into it. And this is a test. That's what I'm saying. I'm on board with this guy, man. I believe this shit is a test to see how. Because look, I'm telling you, man, from it just that whole fucking rocket coming down the way it was, all that shit, and catching it in them chopsticks and them little fucking steel tabs that stick out that hold. Dude, please. That isn't even fucking real, man. That nothing is going to land like that. You're not going to get a rocket to do that. I'm sorry. Where are the control surfaces? Where are the flight? How are you manipulating that thing? What is giving it the thrust to counter that wanting to fall over sideways? Bullshit. Every which way. Bullshit. Bahui, as we would say.
Even explosions in the sky, and they're testing it out to see how much we will fall for and to see how much they can get away with. Because things like this, I literally think are drones creating a holographic image and creating fake explosions and even noise, like I said, to see how much they can get away with.
The broad masses of a nation are always more easily corrupted in the deeper strata of their emotional nature than consciously or voluntarily. And thus, in the primitive simplicity of their minds, they're more readily fall victims to the big lie than the small lie. Since they themselves often tell small lies in little matters, but would be ashamed to resort to large-scale falsehoods, it would never come into their heads to fabricate colossal untruths, and they would not believe that others could have the impudence to distort the truth so infamously. Even though the facts, which prove this to be so, may be brought clearly to their minds, they will still doubt and waver and will continue to think that there may be some other explanation.
And they tell us the truth right in plain sight because they have to. That's what this Spider-Man movie was used for, when they are showing us drones that create holographic images to create what they called in the movie the elementals that attack the city. And I really think that's what they're doing with these SpaceX rockets. They're testing how dumb we are, how much they can get away with. There's evidence of this. Now watch what I point at here. I literally think what I'm catching here is one of the drones creating this holographic image of the rocket. And not only do I catch it here, but I catch it in another view of the supposed rocket that exploded. Now watch this on this next one too. Same thing.
Closing doors, this is a magic and sleight of hand term. It means canceling out possible methods in the audience's mind. In other words, if I have 3 coins and I want to make these coins disappear, the first thing I might do is show you that they are solid silver coins by showing you both sides. Next, I would probably explain that my sleeves are rolled up. I want to point that out so you actually see that my sleeves are rolled up. I'm going to keep all of the coins in view, in frame, and I'm going to move slowly. And with all of those things in mind, if you watch the 3 coins, your brain actually starts to trick itself into thinking that what you're watching is real magic. Because if enough doors are closed, that is the only answer, which is why I show you the front and back of my hands. Watch that second coin right here. That one is gone. And while you're busy thinking about that second coin, the third one has already left. And that's how you close doors.
There's a deception coming. I really think they're going to use this holographic technology. And look, you can even see these SpaceX rockets glitch out. How does that happen if that is a real object? It doesn't. So all I'm saying is be ready. Be ready for something crazier than you could even imagine, because they have technology crazier than any of us could imagine. And if you're watching this and you just think I'm completely off my rocker, well, then you need to watch it a little closer, because this is supposedly real footage of a real rocket. Tell me how this giant thing is balancing like this and then getting caught by these said chopsticks. Because you're watching a movie. You're watching TV. It's holograms and TV, and they cut and they try to fool you. So you got to be ready.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
Actual pad is in the distance, well beyond those trees. So we'll get to see a little star traveling through this fog.
Remote location, which, you know, it's obviously important that it has to be here.
Wonderful spot because we have very little air and marine traffic. So keep in mind that nobody is actually aboard the drone ship. So, and it's 200 miles away.
In the middle of the Atlantic.
It is in the middle of the ocean.
Cannot go near the rocket site. No one can go near it.
We have a cool animation to show you what's going on.
I'm going to be showing you a graphic.
Be sure to follow the animation.
There'll still be some raindrops on the screen. That's not surprising. We have rockets. We don't have windscreen wipers, but we'll do the best we can.
Looks like we might have a little bit of problem with the video.
We lost video feed.
We lost satellite signals.
And we've just lost signal again, we're being told, unfortunately.
Behind me, you can see the deep, dark velvet obscured somewhat by some beautiful smoke.
To the magic of television.
It does look like it's foggy there. It may make it a little bit difficult for us to see today's mission.
I don't think we have a reliable video for it right now, so I'm not sure if we're going to see it exactly perfectly.
Exactly what we saw is exactly what you saw.
And you never drop the con. You never break. Die with the lie.
So, deception is the name of the game. Okay. Lying to you about damn near everything. Who is it? Casey, William Casey, former CIA director, I believe. He said, we'll know that our plan is complete when everything that the American public believes is a lie. Kind of paraphrasing there. It's not exactly, I don't think, the quote, but close enough, you know. And you know what they say about close? Close only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes. It's all real. Truth Trollet says, oh, come on, guys, it's all real. They don't have that kind of technology. Sorry, had to. I know. And that's what you hear from normies, man. Oh, they can't do that.
There's a lot of...
I had a friend of mine. He's been on the show a couple of times, you know, over in the background and stuff. My buddy Johnny, he was over here and we was talking about this shit. And he goes, well, what would be the ultimate goal for that? Why would they want to do that? And I'm like, what do you mean, why would they want to do that? I mean, think of the implications. Just war game it out. You could take it a number of directions, but we know that their goal is a one world government. They want there to be a one world religion. They wanted to dissolve the sovereignty of each nation. This is part of the goal. Now, if you look at every and hello, Roger. Just let me finish this thought.
Fine.
So if you look at like every like space invasion movie, like Independence Day, for instance, what ended up happening? All the people of the world, different nations, had to come together to fight the alien threat. Even Ronald Reagan put that in a speech one day. He said, wouldn't it be something if we were threatened by an outside force and all the people of the world would have to come together to defend against that force? You see, they've been priming you for this idea for a long time. Now, if they go ahead and run something like that, no, or even we know they want them to have a one world religion as well. So what if these aliens were to come down and they say, hey, look, we have the actual manuscripts and we know because of, you know, we helped create you and you know, so here's the real way that the scriptures and everything works. You're all kind of right in some respects or the other, but this is the real thing. And they come up with a hodgepodge. You know, I mean, the possibilities are endless of what you can do to a population that is under the belief that some advanced alien race has come from space to their planet, whether it be for a malevolent purpose or a benevolent purpose. Either way, the people are going to be, if you can get them to believe that's happening, you can damn near get them to believe anything that comes as a result of it, right? So how you doing tonight, Roger?
Oh, I'm doing good. How about yourself, Bob?
Oh, I'm having...
Yes?
Oh, man. We're having fighter and frog hair split 3 ways, my man.
I saw you did a thing on Trump, and I had a comedian friend here and did a little skit with him on one of his interviews he did just recently. You will love it. I put it in the back chat if you want to watch it. He comes
How
off like
long
a
is it?
boss, dude.
Oh yeah,
I think it's like 10 minutes.
yeah. We'll probably get into that. I got it back here backstage, and we'll
Yeah.
check it out. Trump
I
acting like a
I
boss.
just saw you.
Listen, you got to admit, man, he's a good troll.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
You know,
He
I
lies
mean,
like the rest of them.
well, yeah, they all do. But I mean, the thing is, I mean, to go and do that just because Kamala said in an interview, said, yeah, I used to work at McDonald's. And it's like, motherfucker, no, you didn't. And so watch, I'll be able to say I worked at McDonald's. Fact check you didn't work there. And that was the whole purpose of it. Not to mention,
I worked at
you know,
McDonald's.
because really I can't see it fitting in with his teaming up with Robert Kennedy with his Make America Healthy again. Because you know, healthy and McDonald's don't belong in the same sentence.
No, they don't. Remember Supersize Me?
Yeah.
That was a good flick. Hey,
You
what
know,
happened?
they had him up there running the fry machine and working the drive-through and shit. And I was like, oh my God, come on, y'all. Man. So there's another one I've war gamed. Okay. So who do you think is gonna win or be selected in this upcoming contest of the elite that we have?
I'm going to give you the heartbeat of Walmart. Everybody thinks Camilla Harris is the girl. They think she's up
Everybody.
in the polls too. Yeah, everybody I talk to.
Okay.
Weird, but yeah.
Well, yeah, you're in Colorado too. That's kind of fucked up.
It is.
I would imagine, especially around that area where you're like you said. I'm not trying to dox you or nothing, but you've said it before that you're near the Aurora area.
Yeah, I'm about probably like 6 miles from Aurora.
Yeah, so you're not far from Greg that comes on here too. Greg,
Yeah,
have you
actually, I met Greg over at Barbara's
Did you?
the night before. Yeah, he's a
Oh,
nice
okay,
guy.
cool. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, wow, that's crazy because I've war gamed this out in my head to going, okay, look at and like with this McDonald's stunt, man, there was people, the drive-through was a fucking madhouse. You couldn't believe it because, you know, after all, Trump's at the fucking McDonald's making fries. What? Right?
Huh? Yeah.
You know, so that already was getting some people going, oh my God. But that place was fucking whacked, packed, right? Huge publicity thing. And
Did they
you
try
know,
to
his rallies, Brian Young went to one of his rallies and he had he showed outside, man. There was just like people lined up all the way around to get into this place. And I'm looking at it like watch him make it look like Trump's gonna fucking be a shoe-in, right? And then they turn around and fucking give it to Kamala anyway. What kind of a shitstorm do you think that would cause?
Pretty sure people would be really fucking mad, dude. But that's my opinion.
Well, that's why I say we're fucked either way, man. That's why I say we're fucked either way because regardless of who wins, the other side's going to be fucking going ape shit nuts.
Yeah. Well, I grew up with some Jamaicans myself, and that's not a Jamaican accent, dude. I know people from St. Thomas and Barbados. I grew up as a teenager with them. I worked with them. You can't understand them unless you are there with them. They don't sound anything like English people at all. That's just the fakest crap I've ever seen.
I'm on board. I'm on board with Candace Owens on this shit. She's a manufactured fucking politician, just like Barack Obama, just like a bunch of these fucking people, man. They're manufactured. Some kind of MK Ultra bullshit going on in there, man. I ain't kidding, man.
All it takes is a TV in a little room. That's all you need. Maybe a little
Shit.
LSD. You're good.
Yeah, man, it's a little bit more in depth than that, but I mean, they splinter these personalities. It may be very possible that Kamala is not really affecting these accents, but Matt rather has these different personalities. I mean, she's mad as a goddamn hatter. You listen to her. I cannot stand listening to her cackle. Okay. I hope she doesn't win merely for that fucking reason alone, because I don't want to have to hear her fucking cackle anymore, man. I really don't. There's Jehovah's daughter, Barbara. How you doing, sweetheart?
Barberson?
And
Hey, Barb.
early. But yeah. I mean, could you imagine this? I mean, here would be like the ultimate torture would be to have a recording on loop of Kamala cackling along with Hillary laughing. And oh man, I'd be like, oh fuck, man, yes, I'll give you the nuclear secrets, anything. Turn that shit off, man, please. I'll tell you whatever you want to know, man. There is no way I could handle that at all. And here's
I
the
remember.
weird.
Sorry.
What? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I remember when Obama got elected, Sheriff Joe.
You do currently have.
When Obama got elected, what? Hold on, I didn't hear you.
Joe Paya. He went to look for his birth certificate. He sent detectives over to Honolulu and a couple of the islands looking for his birthright. He wanted to prove that he wasn't a citizen of the United States before they even elected his ass.
Oh
when
yeah,
he got nominated.
Some people got killed over that.
It's nonsense, man. It really is. It's crazy.
Yeah, there was. Well, look, yeah, he's not. His dad was a fucking CIA asset.
Uh-huh.
This is all. Yeah. And his mom. You ever look into Stanley Dunham?
Nope, I haven't.
Oh my God, she was like she was in like all these porn pictures and shit. Yeah, man. Listen, that's a mess. That's a mess. But yeah, I think all these politicians are like fucking manufactured, you know, these key ones that they try to put in. I cannot figure for the life of me how the best political minds of the Democratic Party could have said, hey, this is the best we got, except for two reasons. There's only two reasons. One is that she would be a puppet for somebody else that's already been set up that way, like maybe Obama behind the scenes running the show like he's been doing with Joe. I don't know, right? Or they're just throwing it in. Because I mean, I can't see that, you know, hey, let's take somebody who didn't even get a single fucking delegate vote at the primaries before, and we'll run them as our front runner without having her primary. Crazy.
Yeah. So, what do you think they're going to pull, like a Nixon and Watergate kind of thing? That's who set the standard for the election fraud. So.
I don't know what they're going to pull, man. I don't know what they're going to pull, but it's going to be something.
Well, how did it get Biden in again? I forgot. They miscounted the votes a couple of times over. They added like
they just gave him a bunch of votes in the middle of the fucking night in the voting machines. They used absentee ballots and fake ballots and shit. It was crazy.
So the phantom vote got him in.
Oh yeah, you can't tell me that drooling fool got 81 million fucking votes. He got more votes than anybody else ever in history. There ain't no way you're going to convince me of that.
He made a better congressman, from what I remember. He was better in Congress than he was as a president. He was a lot sharper. He could debate. He could stand up at least.
It was a different dude, though. I mean, it was. I mean, literally, it was a different guy. I swear to God.
You could be right. But I watched
didn't even look like this dude, man.
But these topics have been on the table for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, I don't know, man. I'm seeing Hillary change size all the time, height. I'm seeing Biden change height. I'm seeing it's like, how many fucking stand-ins do they have for some of these people, man? It's amazing.
It's all one big happy family, I think. They got a whole bunch of them related to each other. They all look alike. It could be.
Now, man, have you seen the video of the guy that, oh boy, he really got it served to him. He went to go run over a Trump sign with his car and ended up it gave him a flat tire because it had nails in it.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all staged. There's these people putting these videos out that are all staged and they're entertaining. They're funny. Like this one I ran across right here. It's supposed to be a pullover of a cop, right? It's fake. I can tell that it's fake, but it's funny as hell because it drives a point home. This is This is great. Listen to this.
You do currently have a California driver's license. You just don't have a physical copy on you at the moment.
That's my preferred method of identification.
And this is...
It's a cat collar. I'm currently identifying as a cat.
Fair enough. The information here on the tag, I'm assuming belongs to you, the boyfriend?
Yeah. That's so rude. I hope you know I'm recording.
Well, it wasn't my intention to offend you, but he just identified as a cat, and you're wearing a Harriet's Waltz t-shirt, so forgive me if I came to a conclusion that you guys are involved in some sort of a homosexual arrangement.
I'm not mad that you think we're together, but you're using gendered language. Besides, I'm not his boyfriend. I'm his owner.
Okay. Well, look, we can do this the hard way if you'd like. I can have this car towed because last I checked, a cat is not licensed to operate a motor vehicle in the state of California. We can have animal control come get you, take you to a shelter where your owner can retrieve you for a fee of $70 after you're given the necessary immunizations, which do include a rabies shot, possibly even spayed or neuter, whichever you prefer or identify with. Is that what you guys want to do here?
What should we do? I don't know. I don't have $70.
Sir, I can also request that a mental health care professional come down here on scene and do an evaluation of you because you're considering letting him take a rabies shot rather than just give me an ID, use some manners so I can give you your ticket and move along.
Yeah, sure. That was staged for sure, but yeah, I get the point. Yeah.
You do currently have...
Well, can you imagine that? You know,
No, I can't. I really
you have
can't.
any ID? Yeah, here's my fucking rabies certificate. You know, what the fuck?
That's funny. Well, Sal, I got to leave you, but I've got that video for you. That's why I wanted to come give you tonight because it made me laugh when I watched it. It's funny.
All right.
Well, I'll see you around. Me and the Cookie Monster will be gone later.
All right, man.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, I'll go over and check out Cookie Monster and Roger tonight.
And don't forget D and Rerun will be there too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I remember the show like yesterday, dude. All right. Have a good night, man.
D and Rerun.
Yep.
I think that D ended up having a huge veterinary clinic in Beverly Hills in California.
Really?
Yeah. Shirley, I think she died of cholesterol.
Beverly Hills is not the place to be. All right.
Big Shirley.
I'm popping off, sir.
All right, buddy. Have a good night.
You too. Okay, get back to work.
Is this the thing? Weaponized Hollywood production designed to make you believe in magic and obliterate your mind. Oh yeah, we just watched that. Yeah, here, this is a little bit more on that French fry thing. This is funny as shit. I can't believe he did this. Can you all hear that train? That thing must be carrying a hell of a load. It's really loud. Train ain't usually that loud. Anyway.
I'm looking for a job, and I've always wanted to work at McDonald's. I never did. I'm running against somebody that said she did, but it turned out to be a totally phony story. So, President Trump! Well, that's a good-looking group. Hello, everybody. Crazy. I'm having a lot of fun here, everybody. Little fake news of it. I'm looking for a job, and I've always wanted to work at McDonald's.
Like that wasn't set up in advance. Come on. The president goes to a place like that. Secret Service has to check the fucking place out. All these employees that he's going to be walking around and talking to and shit, they have to be. I mean, you don't just stop into a random fucking McDonald's. And especially since you've had what are they saying now? He's been tried to assassinate like 50 times now. I mean, fuck me. I can't believe it. This was set up in advance. So this isn't I don't know if he washed his hands. They didn't show that. It was a great troll. But the thing that gets me, I mean, I don't know. It had to have been planned because They're trying to make it look like he just randomly stopped at a McDonald's and said, I'm going to come in here and start making, I want a job with you. What if the manager had said, fuck you? What if the manager was a Harris supporter and said, you know, no, we don't want your kind here. We don't take too kindly to your kind around here. Oh, I found this thing. This is pretty cool. Okay. So when you're watching movies and shit about World War II, and I hope everybody's having as good a night as I am out there tonight. I got a nice little buzz here and I'm having a good time talking to everybody. But you know, they always show the evil Nazis going to torture people, and you know, you will tell us the secret of where your base is, or we will pull out your eyeballs, you know, and shit like that, right? This is interesting. I ran across this today and I was like, no fucking way. So I looked into it and I was like, this is a no shit. It says most successful Nazi interrogator in World War II never physically harmed an enemy soldier, but treated them all with respect and kindness, taking them for walks, letting them visit their comrades in the hospital, and even allowing one captured pilot to test fly a plane. Virtually everybody talked. And this guy was getting all kinds of results just being somebody's friend and shit. That's amazing. You know, and I think in so stark contrast to what we think of, you know, in these listen, and that conditioning was so strong. When I was stationed over in Germany, my dad, who was born in 1933, so when he was a kid is when the war was, you know, going. He was what? Let's see, he was 12 years old when it ended, right? So there was a lot of the propaganda going on at his formative years, movies and such, right? And so I was stationed over in Germany, and the summer of 85, my parents came over to visit me, and I took leave, and we went all over the place and checked out all kinds of shit. But it was really funny because my dad, it was really wild. We traveled by train, and you'd hear the train whistle, and you're in the train station and you hear the loudspeaker and shit. And you'd see him get like kind of a chill to hear that German spoken over the loudspeaker in the train station and shit. And you know that it conjured up images of people getting loaded onto trains and all the propaganda and everything, right? So I thought that was kind of funny. He was even joking with me. He says, I looked over at him and he had this magazine and he was holding it upside down. And I says, did you know that magazine's upside down? He says, oh, thanks. He turned it right side up and he's looking over the top of it. I says, you're pretending you're like in one of those old movies, aren't you? And he said, yeah. He says, it was funny. It was funny as shit. But anyway, yeah, I was in high school in Germany about that time. No shit. I was in Frankfurt at McNair Kaserne, but I worked at 5th Corps headquarters in downtown Frankfurt. It was a pretty cool place. 3 days on, 3 days off, 3 nights on, 3 days off. Separate rations. Pretty cool. This is pretty cool. You guys all know who Judge Joe Brown is? Listen, this shit's getting savage. These people are getting savage about everybody. Okay? The Diddy shit, all the people associated with it. And like, listen, you all know who Corey Feldman is, right? Of course. He's all the time speaking out about this trafficking. Says he was, you know, and he was abused, and his friend Corey Haim was abused, and that's what led to his death, and blah, blah, blah. And you've heard the thing about these people who've been abused, they usually carries over and they become abusers themselves. I've thought this about Corey Feldman for a long time. It's just been a gut feeling. And I've heard reports about when he had this all-female group with him, I forget what he called them, that he was kind of abusive to these women as well. It was all females. And, you know, he's like all the time, I need $1 million and I'll name some names and shit. You know, he's all the time money grubbing for this shit. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, I think he's one of these abusers. And it's starting to look that way. It's starting to look that way because there's people coming out and they're telling stories. Anyway, I don't want to say no more on that right now until I get some more. But yeah, I mean, yeah, good. You heard that too, Hercules? Yes, yes. It's and it's something that's in my gut. I just know in my gut that he's running cover. You know, because I thought nobody needs $1 million to fucking name names and shit. You still haven't named any names. And as soon as you get a little bit of notoriety, you go out there and start doing crazy shit like his metal band that he had. It was so cringe. It was so fucking cringe. We showed a clip of that on this show one night. Anyway, recently Judge Joe Brown went kind of crazy. Not crazy, but I mean, if you've ever listened to him, he doesn't really mince words. And I kind of like that about this guy. But he had some words to say about one of our candidates for president, Kamala. This is, wow, I was blown away.
I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings, but we got a witch running for president. That woman is the worst kind of sleaze you can ever think of. I was in California when it was going down. And I used to represent 40 years ago a whole chunk of pimps and hoes in Memphis. And I know a hoe when I see one. And when I see a hoe, I know she got a pimp. And I want to find out who the pimps are that we getting tricked out on the benefit of. Who are the pimps that this woman is working for? And I see some decent ladies out there. I've met a few of you. And I resent the fact that you got a hoe that's being your face. You see, tomorrow is yesterday today. So today was yesterday and it'll be tomorrow tomorrow. That's why we have to understand today. What the hell did you just say? And you gonna fake off about being a Negro? I met a daddy, sat next to the man for 2.5 hours at the Governor General's table down in Jamaica. My ex-wife asked him what he was. He said he was Irish and he was Hindu. She said, you don't have anybody black in your family? He said, no.
So what's that about cleaning collard greens in the bathtub?
I'm gonna hurt some.
Come on, man. This is kind of disturbing. I didn't know this. Our good ally, Benjamin Netanyahu. Did you know that he has like 4 fucking names all associated to one social security number? And I'm like, wait a minute. How does this guy have a social security number in the United States and then be prime minister of Israel? How is that? And then have it be associated with 4 different names. Benjamin Netanyahu, Benjamin Netai, John J. Sullivan, and John J. Sullivan Jr. And there's the information. Yeah, there's something about maybe he was working with intelligence. I don't know. It says Netanyahu's files differ from those of most U.S. citizens. The Israeli Weekly Ha'er reports that 4 requests for credit approval appear in the U.S. Social Security file number, and that's the Social Security number 020364537. Under each request, one finds a different name: Benjamin Netanyahu, Benjamin Netai, John J. Sullivan, and John J. Sullivan Jr. One man, four names. Benjamin Netanyahu is the name Israel's current prime minister was given at birth, and which he now uses. In June 1973, during his studies at MIT, Netanyahu submitted a petition to the Boston court asking to change his name from Netanyahu to Netai. I prefer a shorter name, he wrote on a request form. The petition was approved. Thus, the second name has an explanation. The last two names, however, remain a mystery. Furthermore, the address attached to these names somewhere in Malibu, California, does not exist. Who then is John J. Sullivan? So now we got this mystery. What the fuck is that all about? Right? Says Gorin and Berkovich then attempted to examine Netanyahu's Social Security file, but were denied access. They did, however, find out that Netanyahu's file has a different classification than most. They were denied access not merely due to the 1974 Privacy Act, but because the file had a confidential classification. Gorin and Berkovich, as the two guys that researched this, have explained that such a classification only applies to 5 categories of people: those who work for one of the 3 federal agencies, FBI, CIA, IRS, or those who are considered to be terrorists or criminals. Since it is unlikely that Netanyahu fits the latter 2 categories, well, I don't know if he does. I think he fits them perfectly. Or that he worked for the IRS, it appears that he was on the payroll of a security agency, the CIA or FBI. So, what exactly is the deal with us and Israel? What the fuck is that crazy shit, right? And why are there so many dual citizens in our higher echelons of the control system, as I like to call it, the governmentis? I don't know. Oh, there's that thing on the old fireplaces. Oh, reset. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, there's some really dumb fucking people going on here. And yeah, one of the things they did, you remember the big insurrection bullshit? It turns out that the dude breaking the window on January 6th, injuring cops with pepper spray, he's an Antifa guy. They've done photo recognition on this guy. They were infiltrators, and they were there, agitators. This is the thing you got to be careful of, man. Stay away from big groups like this and protests and that kind of shit, man. Stay the fuck away from it. Something in my gut told me, I live close enough to DC. I thought, man, that's going to be something to see what goes on up there. Trump in DC on that day. I said, I was considering going, but there was this thing inside me. I was like, something don't feel right, man. I didn't know exactly what it was. Maybe I thought maybe a possible boom boom or some kind of shit like that, but something in my gut said nah. And sure as hell they turned it into something, didn't they? Fuck, this is insane how this is going. Okay, so this is another thing, maybe y'all can kind of help me out with this, because I just came upon this a little while ago as we were talking about some of this Diddy shit and the links to the occult and some of the people at the higher echelons of the music industry being in perhaps certain dark orders of occult mysticism. Every time I was trying to say and bring up Clive Davis, in my mind, I kept wanting to say Phil Spector, and I didn't realize why at first because I was picturing Clive Davis, but my mind, the words that were coming out were Phil Spector, and I was like, why is that such a fucking what? Oh yeah, he was another big music mogul. I think he died back in 2003, but you'll remember this guy. He was a spooky ass looking look at my hat's all crooked and shit. He was a spooky looking motherfucker too, man. So I think we need to kind of look into this guy a little bit too, and what was going on around him. Let me just show you a picture of him. This was in response to TPV Sean saying, you guys are aware of this guy, this Liam Payne from what is it, New Direction, I think is the name of the band. Apparently he was getting ready to expose music industry PDF file ring before he died. And shit involving Simon Cowell and all kinds of shit. And in response, I said, hey, does anybody remember this guy? Now, nobody's commented on this yet, but this is a picture. I want to bring this up. This is Phil Spector. Some of you may remember this guy, but I just want you to take a look at this fella. Now, he was a huge he was a songwriter and producer, big music executive. Look at that fucking crazy dude, man. So that bears looking into, I think. And I just wanted to just throw that out there, see if it catches anything, catches anybody's interest. And that wasn't the most bizarre photograph. Yeah, Beetlejuice, right on, bro. Exactly. Hold the line says Beetlejuice. Exactly. Listen, there are so many deceivers out there right now. So many of them. Some of them are spiraling. Some of them are, well, I'd have, in my opinion, I think they're all kind of spiraling. But I mean, the things that I'm seeing going on, I mean, like, look at this final experiment shit show thing. All this weird shit coming out around the election. All of these crazy stuff coming out of Hollywood and everything. I mean, people are starting to talk. Anne Hesh, you know, you remember the footage of her being wheeled out on a gurney. She was dead, had her covered up, and then all of a sudden she popped up off the gurney and shit. I have a video of that someplace. I'll have to see if I can find it. But yeah, I mean, this was not an accident. I don't think, not that guy. Better not go into that. We showed that the other night too. Yeah, this is I'm going to come in here and take a look at the chat. Oh, okay. I wanted to also bring up the idea to Kelso because my audience is interested in the free energy type thing. I am too. Some of this antiquitech, it fascinates me. But little short thing while I load this bong up here. On these old fireplaces, and I think we've talked about this before on here. It might have been a while. Maybe we need to do a stream on that shit one night. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. Who fell 3 floors, Sue? Oh, the guy. Yeah, the guy from. See, and there's a lot of shit going on there too because you know, there's other reports that he was fine, but then they're saying that he'd been being erratic and he was all on these drugs and shit. He was tearing up the room. I don't know. Who do you believe, right? He was also getting ready to come out with some shit on, you know, the PDF files in the music industry, kind of like Chris Cornell was going to do and Chester Bennington and Anne Hesh and Anthony, who's the guy, the famous cook. Is that Anthony Bourdain? I think. So it's funny how these fucking people all die, you know? treading in dangerous ground. Fucking with the devil's playground is what you're doing. Anyway, on to fireplaces, right? How did I do that? That's crazy. Anyway.
Lived in an old house.
Hold up, man. That's really loud. Let me turn that down.
It had fireplaces in every room except the bathroom. The realtor told me that the fireplace cannot be used because it wasn't built properly. I thought it was strange. The Tartarian fireplaces did not burn. Fireplaces were as spectacular as the buildings they stood in.
I want to stop using this Tartarian fucking term. Okay? Yes, I believe there was technology in the past that has been obliterated from our knowledge today. Yes, indeed, I do believe that. However, everything wasn't motherfucking Tartaria. Every mountain is not a melted building, okay?
But unlike the way we use fireplaces today, the fireplaces themselves were not designed to burn anything. The chimneys were not used to draw smoke out of the fireplace, and out of the house's structure were not used primarily to provide any structural support. The reinforcement in the house was connected to the dome of the tower on the roof, which was quite possibly filled with various substances such as mercury, radium, or quartz crystal, and metal bars sticking out from the top and sides of the building. Everything was then connected with the metal back sheeting found inside the original Tatar fireplaces and chimneys.
Those little posts, those little stanchions that people always have in front of their fireplaces and shit, right? What the fuck are they for? You see them, everybody always has them. Somebody's got a fireplace in their house, even if it's a fake fireplace, they even have those little stanchions. It seems to like go along with it. What is it? Why? What is it? What was its actual purpose? I've never been able to really find out.
Metal poles sticking out of the upper and sides of houses and other Tatar buildings acted as ethereal electric antennas that harnessed the power of the ether to channel this free energy into the chimney. The air ventilation shafts, air ducts, found in the rooms of the house were connected to the chimney. Ionized air, along with rising and falling currents of hot and cold air, created a pressure electric vacuum inside the chimney. During the winter, chimneys acted as pressure electric vacuums, emitting captured heat inside the chimney out over the fireplace. During the summer, the process would be reversed and the fireplace and ventilation pipes would absorb heat into the fireplace and air ducts, connected to the inside of the chimney inside the house and through ionized air from the etheric electrically charged metal backboard. Inside the KO mine would push the heat up the chimney and out the house. Reinforcement, dome, roof towers, and metal bars sticking out of the sides of the house acted as a spider, attracting ether and concentrating etheric energy throughout the house. Just like spiders can grow and survive without food and water if they touch their web, Tartarians were able to live without food and water provided they remained inside their etherically charged home.
I don't know about all that, man. I don't know about all that. What do y'all think, man? Does that hold water? Does that dog hunt? These people weren't having to eat or nothing? Y'all believe that? I don't. I don't believe it. Not for a minute. Not for a minute. I don't know though, man. It is kind of weird that these places didn't have no shit houses in them. You know, there was no bathrooms in a lot of these places, man. I don't know what to make about that. Oh man, there's that stupid rocket landing. Let me see. I didn't make it to all the things I wanted to. Look, I hesitated to show this, but fuck it. Well, you know, I've gone a long time. I've been, you know, I guess by YouTube standards behaved pretty damn well. You know, I haven't gotten Unlike Lowry, where's Lowry at tonight? Motherfucker didn't show up. His shit kept getting shut down tonight, man, because they kept showing stuff, and it's like, okay, you'll learn after a while. You'll get a feeling about, no, I probably shouldn't show this, or if I do, I'll have to stop it. That kind of thing. You have to be careful, man. But a poor guy, him and Nicole, they were running a stream earlier, and the damn thing kept. All of a sudden, it was like I was watching it. And they were showing a thing from The Simpsons, and I was like, oh. And I watched and Chilling. I don't know if Chilling is here or not. Chilling, I saw him put in the chat. He said, TOS violation incoming. And it wasn't more than like 15, 20 seconds later, it went stream removed for terms of service violation. And I just sat there. I goes, watch, it'll come back on as soon as they shut off that copyrighted material. And yeah, he got slammed hard, Valley Parks. He did. Radium cold cream and makeup and stuff. Yes, there was people that were doing that. And see, there's a thing. They were putting radium like in cold cream for women and as an additive to butter and dairy products and shit like that. And it was supposed to increase longevity and this kind of thing like that. And there was something to it, but I think the industry use these radium girls as a way to scare the public away from that that material. And like I said, a small amount, like there's iron in food that you eat and shit, right? You need a certain amount of iron, and even people take supplements of iron. But if you down that whole bottle of iron and shit, you're probably going to end up going to the hospital. You're going to get fucked up from that. So, even same thing with water. You need water, but you take in too much water, you're going to have problems. I think the same thing could be said with this radium shit. I don't know. It deserves looking into. I wish I still had that watch. It had a radium dial on it. That was amazing. You could see that thing. It lit up like across the room. Let's see. Oh, boy. You guys want to see a funny ass? This is from Flat Earth Dave put this out. This was put out by Curiosity, and this is ridiculous. They want you to believe this shit, okay? And I want you to look at this ridiculous curvature that they're trying to show here. 1 second here. Who's in this? Oh, okay. All right. Let me go here. My bad. Bear with me, guys. I got a buzz. All right. Yeah, Silver will turn you into a Smurf. Look at that. Look how small Earth must really be. Now, how the fuck far away from Earth are they? Are they like, halfway to the moon? What's going on there? That's the most ridiculous shit. And people go, oh, look, and they're mesmerized by this. They're fucking mesmerized by it. Blows my mind. So yeah, get ready. I think that there's gonna be a huge hit on Flat Earth. I think they're getting ready to do another. I think Lucky Haskins is right. They're getting ready to do another behind the curve type hit fucking piece. I guarantee it, man. And Tinfoil Sombrero on your show earlier, they was talking about that very thing, because there's like that reality show. They're gonna have these people go to Antarctica or some bullshit. For some reason they're really worried because this is something that's taken off. Now, Lucky said he'd never said it, but I straight up have, that 2024 was the tipping point. I think 2024 is that tipping point. It's happening, and we're seeing I think we're seeing the desperation by the globe side, so much so to the point that Toon is actually literally he's starting to go off the rails. I mean, motherfucker said that somebody deserved to lose their children because they didn't believe in a globe, because they're a flat earther, because they believe what the Bible says about the earth. And that's grounds to have a parent not have their children. That's a sick motherfucker right there. That's a piece of shit. That's a piece of shit right there. So Lucky, I agree with you. He's a total piece of shit. 100%. This is crazy. What is this? Okay. Wait. It's Hollywood teasing Globies. That's what somebody said. Okay. Like I said last night, they're already starting with this shit. Okay. So we know that they're going to have, no, you're right. Absolutely. Shannon, you're right on it. David going on some big shows and being a likable guy that shows some interesting stuff is not good for them. I agree. They don't like it. They do not like it. The fact that he's gotten Roy Toonbout lost his fucking mind because he went on Roseanne. I thought that, yes, you're right, Eldon. He is very evil, very evil. Anybody that would even state that is just a fucking evil person. You know, somebody should lose their kids because of that. Oh my God. I mean, that's a psychosis. That's a state of psychosis, 100%. 100%. This I had some other cool flat earth shit down here that I need to find. I can't show that because I think they still fuck with you about that. Yeah, that's a little bit. One of these nights we're gonna have to do. I swear to God, we're gonna have to do just a Rumble only stream because of some of the shit that I'd like to talk about that you can't talk about on YouTube. Considering a certain sect of people that have infiltrated our world. Okay, I'll just put it at that. And I think that there's a lot of responsibility for the shit that we go through laid at their feet. I really do. Anyway, enough said about that. We'll start getting Sean Hawkins having a fucking cow. Wonder how he's doing. Anybody say, oh yeah, that's right. He picks at Flatsoid a lot. He picks over at Flatside. Yeah, Lucky does need a rumble. He does, but you know, I don't blame him. I'm tired of the fucking negative bullshit too. I'm tired of these assholes. I really am. It's like, cool, we get it. You think that you live on a spinning ball in fucking space. Go on with yourself then. Ain't no reason for you to be out there trying to be a hateful shit to everybody that doesn't agree with you. Fuck you. You know, so these psychotic fucktards, I don't have any reason to entertain them. You know what I mean? That's why, like I said, I was going to go over Flatzoid's debate with him and Marcus Allen from Apollo Detectives against, I forget what the one guy's name was, but he was there with Craig, and that's enough, man. And I decided I'm going to go ahead and do that tomorrow instead, because man, I'm still recovering from having to listen to that fucking idiot Craig once already. You know, maybe if I don't know, speed it up or something. But anyway, it's pretty good. He gets once again slam dunked. I like the way that Marcus jumps in there and schools him on having, you know, no manners. I'll tell you. So yeah, we're going to cover that tomorrow. I just didn't want to have to listen to Craig tonight. I'm in a good mood. I have a nice buzz going on. This world is just the level of deception that people are in, man. It's cracking me up. I've just been having a good time all day, just delving into it and looking at it. It's from the politics to the space to the all the bullshit, you know. Oh my God, we're going to be at war. All these motherfuckers coming on going, you need to prepare, buy my storage food, buy this, that, and the other, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, and people that was down there in North Carolina, I bet you a bunch of them had, you know, stored up survival food, and it all fucking washed away, man. It's like bad. That whole area that Brian was showing in that video, that was down in that area, that was a big fucking homeless encampment. Gone. That guy from that interview, oh, I gotta grab that for y'all too. I already did, didn't I? I need to put it in the description. That's what I needed to do. I'll get that. Yeah. Don't let me forget. All right, don't forget. There you go. Very good. But no, I mean, they're really not hitting us with the full story. I mean, what you're hearing on on major news outlets, what little you're hearing now, it's, you know, we've got all of the clown show shit overshadowing it. But man, it's getting cold at night. And up in those mountains, it's getting really fucking cold at night. There's people still fucking stranded up there, man. Hey, Flow State, how's my moneymaker going tonight? Yeah, I got it. Listen, this was great, man. The other night on Flow State, I popped on there. Some of you heard me tell about this the other night. I popped on there. The title said something about flat earth or some shit. And I was like, oh, that's my wheelhouse, right? Cool. So I go in there and there's this dude on there. I don't know what his name was, Catboy, something meow. I don't remember. Anyways, it's not important. This guy was really in the tank, man. I'll tell you what, probably every booster that's been available, this guy's probably had it. I couldn't believe it. But he could not handle having, even on a political level, you know, his beliefs challenged. And my biggest thing, I was just asking, I said, where does the right to rule come from? I said, how can I bestow a right to kidnap someone or to arrest someone or to subdue someone? If I can't just do that, how can I bestow that right upon somebody else? That was what I laid out. What gives someone the right to be able to do that? He could not handle. It was like, I guess he had just fucking abort, retry, fail popping up in his brain. And so Flow State has a thing that says you can time somebody out for paying him. It's because Flow State's a whore. Just kidding, buddy. Anyway, this guy paid $20 to time me out. So I sat there and I was like, okay, all right. So I just sat back there backstage and shit, waiting to come back up. It's cool. I'm fucking around in the chat. I'm back here smoking. 20 minutes comes up, boom, he gives me another 20 minutes. And I was like, oh man, watch this. This is going to be great, man. I wonder how much money this fucking fool will spend to not have to be in the arena of having his belief system challenged. So it was funny as shit. How much did he end up paying out, Flow State? It end up being like, I think about like $120 altogether, wasn't it? I don't remember, man. But this dude, but here's what was funny, what happened, and I knew it was going to end up happening. I was like, because I started thinking, I was like, oh, you know what's going to happen? He's sending in the same amount of money at timed intervals. It's going to get flagged for fraud. Watch, something's going to happen. He's not going to be able to, you know, and sure as hell, he wasn't able to use his fucking card. He had to go to an alternative thing. But I didn't give a shit, man. I was just sitting here smoking. I thought, well, shit, I'll make some money for the flow state. Why not, man? Yeah, flow state says about that. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I wasn't even backstage no more, and this motherfucker is still paying money. That's what was funny as shit. Anyway. And they got us with these fucking phones and shit, man. They got us with these fucking phones and all this other shit. And a lot of people, I don't know, most of my audience, according to my demographics, if they're any indication, my audience seems to be somewhere between 35 and 60, you know? And that's, I think, you know, so I wonder if a lot of the younger people, you know, if they're coming to understand some of this shit. And this girl, she says, kind of makes you think. And anyway, let me just go ahead and play it. Fuck it. Man, these little vapes are awesome. When they're all done, you just throw them away. It's really cool.
I think our parents were right. It was the damn phones. We laughed when we were children, hearing it's that Snapgram and Insta chat and face talk. They didn't understand. They couldn't even say it right. We thought we knew better than them. They didn't know what it was like having a world at the tip of our fingertips. We scroll through the trash so much we have headlines tattooed on our skin, wires for veins, AI for a brain. And they may not have understood, but they were right. It is the damn phones. A drug in my pocket dependent on stimulation, but can we blame us? We were but children when they were given. We didn't know how to stop it. If I added up all the hours I spent on a screen, existential dread and regret would creep in, so I ignored this fact by typing away. And it's not like I can throw away my phone. It's how we communicate. It's how we relate. It's the medicine that is surely making our souls die. I used to say I was born in the wrong generation, but I was mistaken, for do I not do everything I say I hate? When I look in the mirror, I see a ghost staring back. I try not to think too much about who I would be without technology. The character behind my phone screen has become self-aware, almost worse than being naive, for I know it's poison, but I drink anyways. We used to be scared of robots gaining consciousness, a lie by the media companies to distract us, as to not ourselves become conscious of the mess they created. We are the robots, we are the product, so I sit and I scroll and I rot and repeat. Sit and scroll and rot until my own thoughts are what is being fed to me on TV, until my own feelings are wrapped up in celebrities, until my body is a tool of my political identity. And so I sit and I scroll and I rot. And so I post on the internet how the internet has failed us so that I may not fail my internet presence. I think our parents were right. It was the damn phones.
So what excuse do people have before the phones, though? Was it the
I think our parents were.
Was it the hoop stick? You know, you go through those thoughts a lot, Spitfire. Yeah. You got to wonder. And listen, that's something that they rely on, and they believe that most people, and maybe they're right, most people are programmed to accept information without thought based on perception. And we see that a lot. People will be told something that's contradictory, but because of the figure that told it to them, their perception of that figure, they'll accept it. Not because and they'll repeat it. So that's why I say there's people that record, and then there's people that learn. Okay, when you take in information and you can dissect it and logically analyze it, that's one thing. To take in information and just regurgitate it back, well, fuck, a parrot can do that, man. You know? And unfortunately, we've got a lot of parrots. You see them every time. If there's an airplane crash, suddenly everybody's a fucking air disaster expert. You know? Suddenly everybody's an expert on this when this is the issue and shit. And it's like, they're just going along with the current fucking thing. You know, how many out there? That's why I say, like I said, I look at people sometimes and I go, you know, I wonder what that motherfucker's thinking about over there. You know? And a lot of times it'll be somebody that has this kind of like blank look on their face. And I'm wondering, is there anything going through their mind right now? Are they just like only conscious of are they even conscious of their surroundings? Or are they just there, fulfilling their I don't know, exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide, like NPC type thing. But you remember what I said earlier about what I feel like time is speeding up? I found this thing too. This man, I swear to God, it does feel like time is speeding up. And not just because I'm getting older. I was talking to my friend about this earlier today. I said, man, I can't believe it's almost the end of the fucking year, man. And he goes, I know, man. What's up? And he said, summer didn't even last, man. Summer didn't even say goodbye. Just packed her shit and left. And I'm like, I know. What the fuck, right? And we were talking about how it feels like not just perception because of your age, like to me, a year does not seem as long at my age as it did to me when I was 20. Because now it's only 1/60th of my life, and then it was 1/20th of my life, a greater deal. But it's more than that. It's almost like everything is speeding up. Like it, I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. There's Faceplant. What's happening, Faceplant? I just had an image of like a patch with plants in it, and they're face plants. And instead of leaves, they have just faces. That would be cool. You got your mic going, or you there, Faceplant? Hello? Are you muted? There you go. There you go.
Hey. Cheers, everybody.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay.
All right.
I've just been working on my old garage. It's sinking into the ground. It's 100 years old.
Oh my. I'm guessing you're in Canada?
Yeah.
Yep. How'd I know that?
So I'm just trying to shore up the old garage, yeah.
The old garage. Oot and a boot. Yeah. I could tell by your accent. So have you felt like time is speeding up any?
Yes.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah. I felt that for a while, yeah.
Yeah. I've been feeling it for a little bit too, but I mean, it's almost like it's getting faster and like it keeps going a little bit more, like an accelerator on it,
Yeah, the rate of acceleration is accelerating.
Yeah, it's almost like it's not just sped up, it's speeding up, I don't know, it could just be I'm a fucking lunatic, but whatever. This guy had
I might have mentioned this before when I was up here about when an authority figure gives you some kind of information and you just accept it.
Mm-hmm.
An example is I might have mentioned this here before. I just happened to catch some Jeopardy on TV, and one of the questions was about the moon causing tides.
Uh-huh.
And I had already figured out that it's impossible for the moon to cause tides because wherever tides are, they happen the same time every day. You can set your watch by them, but the moon doesn't come by the same time every fucking day. So how in the hell can anybody, how does everybody believe the moon causes tides when they know the moon doesn't come by the same time every day?
Because that's what they were told, man.
And I mean, on Jeopardy there, they made a point of zooming right in on Ken Jennings after the answer And he says, yeah, the moon causes tides. What the fuck? Like, they made a point of it. It's like,
fact check
let's
false.
see how much bullshit people can believe without anybody saying anything.
Yeah. Yeah. This is just something that they've been told. It's something that they've been, it's just it's almost like it's a legend that just gets passed down, and people take it as truth.
Even flat earthers were saying the moon causes tides because it's just an accepted fact in the back of their mind that they never thought about that. Yeah. So then the question is, well, if the moon doesn't cause tides and there's no gravity, then what are tides? It's probably the land breathing. The land is going up and down.
Or there's maybe there's said to be whirlpools. And twice a day at the North Pole, now this is according to, some old writings, that there's supposedly a whirlpool around the Rupus Negro that draws down into the earth twice a day with a current so strong that nothing can escape it. And, who's to know that maybe this whole thing doesn't have, think terrarium, right? And you've got this, filtration pump system that goes twice a day, part of the whole, like you're saying, respiration process of the earth, like a filtration side. I mean, where the fuck do these oil spills end up going? Where do they go? They end up gone. How do oil wells fill back up?
I never recorded it or studied it or anything, but to my understanding, some places don't even have tides, like lakes don't have tides, and some places on the coast don't have tides, and some places have more than one tide a day. But
some are greater than others. Some have bigger tides. Some areas have bigger tides than others, and everything. It's a correlation bias, right? So, like, I've used this scenario before. It's like, okay, if I say there's a red car goes by my house every day, Monday through Saturday, every day, this red car goes by my house. And shortly after that red car goes by my house, the mail is delivered. Therefore, I have determined that because the red car doesn't come by on Sunday and the mail doesn't come on Sunday, therefore, I have determined that the red car causes the mail to arrive.
Yeah, what's that, post hoc fallacy or it's called?
Right. Now, in reality, you have to look into it deeper, and is it maybe it's an indirect cause? That's possible too. So the red car goes by. Well, it just so happens that guy goes to work or wherever he's got to do about the same time as the mail usually arrives. The red car really has nothing to do with it. The guy doesn't work on Sunday, and of course the mail doesn't come on Sunday. So the red car doesn't really cause the mail to arrive. Or does it? Perhaps the guy in the red car is on his way to work and he works at the post office, and he's the guy that brings the mail. So indirectly, the red car did, you see. So you have to look at it more than that, and to claim that the gravity of the moon is pulling on billions of tons of seawater.
Well, by what I just said, it's impossible for the moon to cause tides, so there's no use even discussing it.
Right. Well, my wife was recently in Florida.
So then what is the tides? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it's part of a big filtration system, man.
Like the geyser at Yellowstone, what's Old Faithful? It happens the same time every day. So that could be the same phenomenon, the land rising up and down as it breathes.
Awesome.
It's a lot.
Right. I've never felt the earth move. So there's that. So yeah, I think it's the water. Actually, the water is receding and then it's ebbing and coming back. And what's causing that? Well, I know it's not the gravity of the moon. So there it's what up for what you have to look into, what we need to try and figure out.
Everything relates to water, I think.
Well, sure. What was I going to say? Oh, my wife, when she was just recently in Florida, she's heard this guy down there telling his girls, his little girls, that the tide wasn't as big because the moon was only a crescent moon.
It's still there,
because it was only a crescent moon, it didn't have as much gravity. That's what he was telling his kids, man. See, this is why we have dumbness everywhere. Guy was actually telling his kids that there wasn't as much tide because the moon, being a crescent, had less gravity. Yep. And only when it's full, it has, I guess, full gravity. Anyway, this guy here talking about the time speeding up.
So,
and sorry, go ahead.
All right, hang on, I got to turn this thing up anyways. That last one, though, was like blasting through the fucking speakers, so I had to cut the volume back, man.
So, check this out. So I noticed that time has sped up. Time has literally sped up. And I wanted to document this because I have my own personal experience that I wanted to share concerning that. So if you do your research, you'll find out that scientists, whoever, are saying that time is actually speeding up. And I know that a lot of you, if you're like me, you felt like the day just whizzes by. You don't have time to do anything. But that's because time actually is speeding up. But what I wanted to document and share is my own experience. So when I got this new vehicle, I've had it for about a year. When I got this vehicle, it was a whole thing about wanting to be on time for work. So I set my clock on my car 5 minutes ahead, right? And so what I noticed a couple of months ago is how it was only ahead by a couple of minutes. And I'm documenting this today, so I got it in my archives that as of today, it's actually the exact time that it actually is. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, in short, I had my clock on my car set 5 minutes ahead, and now it's the exact time of what it actually is. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. I found that very interesting. Also, I observed another TikToker that was talking about how here it is, the beginning of October, and there's so much green that's still on the trees. The leaves, haven't really been falling. And I find that all to be interesting, that there's a lot going on right now. What y'all think? You notice anything different? I mean, of course, these past few years have definitely been different shit, but I mean, have you noticed anything particular within this time here space lately that you want to share? Put it in the comments so that way we can have some dialogue. All right, I'll share.
What do you think about that?
Yeah.
So
I can believe that. Maybe that clock. It's off computer, so maybe that clock is just automatically calibrating itself by the internet or whatever, the computer in it.
That's possible. Yeah, because I've got clocks that automatically update.
I have a couple of clocks here, just battery clocks, and they don't seem to be, they're still keeping the right time, right? So if time is speeding up, then the clock is speeding up too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it used to be you could watch the second hand on the clock and say it'd be like 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. That's seconds, eh? And you just do it normally and normal pace. But now it seems like you can't keep up.
I know. Crazy. Listen to that. Something wrong back there making that noise. Man.
He's slurping his noodles.
Yeah, he's having them noodles really hard back there. That's Fabio. Every time when he just went outside, and every time he goes outside, when he comes in, he's got to hit that water bowl. And holy cow, man. It's
he's checking out the Stanley Steamer satellite outside the window.
This is no shit. You agree with this statement? Check this out. I believe this. Other than the fact that we're not on a planet, this plane does not have a CO2 problem. The plane has a psychopathic genocidal oligarchy problem. And 100%. I fucking agree. I mean, this is so. I talked about this the other night. Okay, so these. Did you watch the show the other night when I was talking about how these people refracted a laser and on using DMT, not going all the way, freaked out with it. I would say like microdose type deal that they were actually seeing, and I'm not suggesting people go out there and use this stuff or whatever else. I'm just saying this is what they did. And they refracted a laser and they were seeing matrix code in the laser on the wall. They said that you could see into like another dimension or something. This is kind of crazy. And never stare directly into a laser. And these guys aren't staring into a laser. They're staring into the refracted laser on a wall surface, and that's not going to hurt you. Otherwise, it would be bad to have one of those things for your cat to chase, right? You don't want to shine that in the cat's eyes.
Isn't DMT something the body produces on its own?
Yes, it certainly is. It's been called the spirit molecule. The God molecule. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And I'll leave it at that. Everybody with their own journey, right?
I've never tried it. I don't think I will, because if the body produces it, then why do I need
more?
The
thing is that it's one of the things that's responsible for your dreams. It's emitted out of your in your brain, and it's said that your body is inundated with it at the moment of birth and also at the moment of death.
From
now,
people,
how they would know that, I'm not really sure, but
people that I've encountered that do DMT don't seem to me to be any more enlightened or intelligent than they would be without it. They might seem a little weird to me.
Well, the thing now, from my own personal experience, is that it's if anything else, it makes you aware that there are other dimensions within our dimension that we're not aware of. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
That's the best way that I can put it.
I think you're aware of that without it anyway, right?
Well, we gotta. All right, you have to look at it like this. All right, so the reality in which we reside, this what we call reality, is nothing more than our interpretation of electromagnetic signals, frequencies, different vibrations, energy. That's basically all anything is, much like a computer code, ones and zeros. And it doesn't become a cohesive reality as we experience it until we take all of that in through all of our senses, through all of our physical senses, and we interpret it into this cohesive reality in a little spot in our brain about this big. So without this decoding device, much like this computer, you and I are conversing back and forth. You can see me, I can see you if your camera was on, blah, blah, blah. We're conversing in real time. However, between where I'm at and where you're at, this reality that we're using is nothing more than a bunch of ones and zeros bouncing around through cables and shit, fucking communication towers, all kinds of shit, right? Until it gets decoded in your machine into what we're using right here, right now to do this show. So we experience our reality in much that same way. Now, in the same manner that like this internet, like the internet, can we get the entire internet? No, you can't. There are places on the internet that you're not able to access. You're firewalled from them. In fact, if you use a VPN, you can go like to, you might be used to a website. Like for instance, and I'm not saying this is one of them, but like for instance, say you like a certain right-wing publication, right? Or a freedom-oriented one. And you try to go to that website, but you're using a VPN that says you're in like Belgium or Russia or something like that. You won't be able to access that. You're firewalled from it. So I believe that what we're experiencing, this reality, that we're firewalled much in the same way from interpreting some of the electromagnetic reality that we would be able to see otherwise. You get what I'm saying? Like there's websites right in front of us that we're not able to see because our consciousness is firewalled from it. Our brains are not, we've been firewalled from being able to interpret it. And what I found with the DMT is that you can then interpret those other dimensions within our reality that normally you wouldn't realize are there.
Yeah.
Does that make
So
sense to you?
Yeah,
And
it does.
it's so brief. This is what's so crazy about it. It is so brief. Like 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And then you're back. Normal. Everything, it's over.
Is it like acid where if you keep taking it, you need more?
No, it's I don't know how to explain it. It's it does access the same as like how magic mushrooms and whatever. It does, it's sort of like that. Have you ever, I don't know if you've ever eaten mushrooms or not, but that's kind of like you start feeling, you're like, oh, feel it coming, here it comes, okay, here it comes, and it gradually comes on, right?
Mm-hmm.
With this, it's different. It's sort of like, oh, here it comes. Instant rocket sled ride, boom. It's not like, oh, I feel it coming on. No, it's on right now. And I don't know, I found it to be amazing. There's a lot of clinics that are offering ayahuasca as a therapy. And of course, that's an oral ingestion of DMT. So you can't take it and just like eat it, because you need an MEOI inhibitor to be able to ingest it orally. And that's what's in with the ayahuasca. Anyway, it's cured people. It's had great success curing people from hard drugs like heroin and shit like that.
And it's made people murder too, ayahuasca.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. There might be something to it.
I guess it depends on what kind of shaman or whatever you gives it to you, if they're evil or what.
Right. Well, that's one of the things with entropics is that people, a lot of times they use it for the wrong reason, for a more of a recreational thing than what it's actually meant to be. And
Yeah,
it's actually it's a spiritual type guide thing.
To get off sexually or something.
Well, not just that. I mean, just to, party, that kind of thing. And you have to be very conscious of that too, because you have to be aware of your state of mind when you go into it, because of the fact that it can actually exacerbate your state of mind. So in other words, like if you go into it bummed out, you're probably going to have a bad time, because it's only going to enhance that vibration that you're already in, I don't know.
You think
Anyway,
maybe some people see some things that they wish they hadn't, or realize some things they wish they hadn't, or something?
I find it that the experience to be more introspective, introspective than it is introspective. Like you have the effects of the outside kind of thing, but I don't know. I think more people come to realizations, and sometimes people come to realizations of themselves that they just can't fucking handle, and they don't want to look at. I don't know. It's hard to say. Each person's individual journey, man. But anyway, this is what this thing was about. This is kind of cool.
Holy shit. I just saw something. Yeah. What the
Oh, I see that. I feel it.
When I first saw the phenomenon, I was like, holy shit. But then it was actually like, whoa, what is happening? Am I losing my mind? But then I showed other people, and things kept getting weirder.
Just for the record, I haven't told him anything. Okay, just tell me what you see.
Oh my God, come on.
I showed over 100 people, and I kept asking myself, how are all of us seeing the same thing?
Oh my God, it's changing shapes right there.
The laser was revealing numbers and letters running in a pattern.
They're almost like this big here, and it looks like code.
It looked like programming code.
It's definitely saying something, and I just want to take a picture of it and translate it. Wow. You see that?
Okay, so yeah, it's not stuck.
No.
It's not because of the light.
No, it's on its own side.
And each angle shows you different layers, different ways through it.
Hey.
You can see through the wall. It's not like a hallucination. It has spatial awareness and permanence. I don't know. Whoa.
For centuries, mankind has attempted to explore these altered states, but we've never had a repeatable, testable phenomenon to observe until now.
Wow. It's like you can see through the laser into another dimension.
The claim is, if you project a diffracted laser on the surface and you smoke DMT, you will see code running in surfaces. Yes, like in the Matrix. So there are a few possibilities.
There's some other kind of
I
consciousness
lost my mind.
involved, I'm
Which is
sure.
the coolest
There's another
using-
entity. There's another entity involved, a demon or something involved in that. You think? Are you muted?
I was. Fuck. was going to say, the thing is, what I've noticed is, okay, so you've had all these people have seen the same thing. Okay, they're seeing the same thing. And with my own experience, it's like we all have gone to the same place with the same characters. There was another story I had heard where this guy, he did this DMT, and then he went off to he said that in this trip there was this purple woman that knew him and said, "Oh man, I'm glad you're back," and shit. And he felt a real connection with her. And he did it again, and there she was again. And she was like, "Cool, you're visiting again," and it's like, what the fuck? So he hadn't told anybody about this. And his friend wanted to try some. So he had his friend smoked it and shit. And he there to make sure everything went okay. And guy came back and he's like, man, he says, dude, that was wild. He said, there was this purple chick there, and she was telling me to say that she misses you and to tell you hi. It's like, that's the kind of thing right there. Always with the fucking jesters, the jesters and the clowns. This is why I know this whole thing's just a big fucking circus we're in. It really is. It really fucking is.
Yeah, and that DMT, putting DMT into the mix is part of the circus.
Well, the thing is that there's the thing about it is that it is like I say, I'm not advocating for it, or like I said, everybody their own trip. My experience with it was quite profound. I'll just leave it at that. It was really quite profound. Not negative in any way whatsoever. In fact, in a way, healing. I was able to shed myself of some negative energy that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, I can see that. Like the last time I did mushrooms, I was kind of doing it for healing my body and that, and just to meditate. But I was seeing other things. Like I was just sitting there watching TV, and you know how sometimes my eyes are looking at the TV, but I'm visualizing something else.
Right.
So yeah, and I saw demon. It's like I was remote viewing a demon.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like I could tell it, and then it's when I looked at it, I could tell that it could tell something was looking at it. So I got out of there before it saw me or whatever.
Wise decision.
You know what I mean?
Wise decision. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know if you've ever known this or not, but it was due to that same thing, the mushroom that literally cured me of alcoholism. I'm not shitting you. It literally left me with an understanding of what alcohol is, how it works, what it's designed to do, and a natural revulsion to it. I can't even get it past my fucking nose to drink it if I wanted to. It's not even an appealing thought to me. And I'll tell you what, I was hardcore. I was hard fucking core. And I haven't drank in almost, let's see, 13 and a half years now. It'll be coming up on 14 years in June. So, fuck yeah.
I kind of had an experience, and it was about 2017, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I had already slowed down drinking, but at that point, I quit everything. At one point, I quit meat, I quit dairy, I quit wheat, Corn.
Damn.
I literally quit everything. And
David, you're right. Alcohol opens us up to demonic possession. It does. Well, there's a reason it's called spirits.
Sure.
Okay. So you've heard the metaphoric, you've heard the what's the word I'm looking for? Metaphysical law that a demon cannot inhabit you or come into your home unless it's willingly invited. Okay. And when you imbibe spirits, you are willingly inviting them into your home. This is your home. This is where your spirit lives. Okay. And I truly believe full takeover occurs, full 100% takeover occurs in what they call the blackout. Okay. When a motherfucker blacks out and does a bunch of crazy bullshit that he wouldn't never normally do, and the next day it's like, man, you remember that, man? You tore that fucking bar up and did this. And you're like, what the fuck? No way. I think that's when that's full-fledged takeover. Full-fledged.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I've seen hardcore alcoholics quit after having a blackout and people told them what they did and they never wanted to have that again, so they quit.
Bless their hearts, because grabbing my coffee. Bless their hearts that they can do that, because unfortunately, people like myself could not accept the idea of a mere substance defeating them. And therefore, in an attempt to gain control of it, I decided to moderate. This is always the first thing that people do. Try to moderate, right? And then hell, because you did such a good job moderating, having a drink to celebrate, that's not going to hurt anything, right? And then you're right off in the same fucking boat going again. But you'll find a reason every time. Every time. Anyway, we'll save that for another show. Want to finish this thing real quick.
Your mind ever in history. The second option is that this is the biggest discovery of humankind. If anybody ever asked themselves what it would be like to know you live in the Matrix for sure, well, I know for sure. I'm convinced.
So where do we go from here? All I know is
It's about to get crazy.
What do you think, man? I mean, it's pretty crazy that all the same people see the same thing. And like I was saying, it's like that with a lot of the experiences. So I don't know. It's been a shamanic tradition in one form or another in so many different cultures throughout the ages. So, I mean, even the way that they came up with being able to do the ayahuasca, you remember, as I said, in order to orally ingest the dimethyltryptamine, you need an MEOI inhibitor, right? Now, you can smoke it. That's one thing, but you can't ingest it. So the natives that made this shit down in the Amazon, they said that they take this vine that they mix with the ayahuasca, and it's ironically called the vine of death. But out of thousands and thousands of species of vines that grow in the rainforest in that area, they knew of the one vine that contained an MEOI inhibitor that allowed the oral ingestion of dimethyltryptamine. Isn't that fucking crazy? And when they were asked how they knew that it was this vine, they said they were told by the spirits.
Yeah, absolutely.
What?
How could it be any other? like how much trial and error would you have to go through? It would be almost
Man.
impossible.
Yeah, you'd give up by the time you found the right one, most likely. You know, I mean,
without spirit guiding you, you wouldn't have a chance, I don't think.
So I truly believe that we're meant to have these experiences. Not everybody, but there are those of us that are meant to have these experiences. I think that a lot of times that they're very mind expanding in a way of being able to come to deeper self-awareness, which I think is very, very important. You know, because you start viewing yourself from different angles that you've never viewed, instead of from, most people go through their whole life with nothing but an outward view of the world. Nothing more than an outward view. They never have a view from another perspective back at themselves.
I think it maybe crosses over the dream realm into the awake realm, probably. Like, you know, you see everything in the dream realm, right?
The hints are right around you. You're in a dream realm. You really. It's in the song. It's in the song. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
You know how when you sleep and you're having it, you wake up and look at the clock, and then you go back to sleep and have a dream that seems like a really long time, and then you wake up and look at the clock and it's like 1 minute later.
It's only been a minute later. Yeah. You know, I've often thought, you know, this is all right. This is just like kind of a mind fuck thing. Oh yeah, yesterday was my dad's birthday. Just throwing it out there. Happy birthday to you, Dad, out there wherever you are now. He would have been 81. 81. Wait, is that right? No, he would have been 91. Yeah, he'd have been 91 years old. Ain't that crazy? 91 years old. Yeah, it's hard to imagine. Hard to imagine. Anyway, I was on to telling something. Oh man, can you imagine this? And this is one of two. This is a two-parter. You guys like seeing cop videos? You know, like when they pulling somebody over or some shit like this. This is knuck and futz. This is for you guys are gonna love this, man. This is entertainment. I can't even imagine being the cop on the scene of this. This is nuts. Watch this.
Okay. All right, Robert. So how much you had to drink tonight? You got a license on you?
Yeah. Right now.
All right, go ahead and look for it. Turn your vehicle off, all right?
He's coming back from Brenda's house.
1-3 issue.
I think I did.
You think you what?
I think I didn't grab it. My wallet.
You didn't grab your wallet?
Right.
Okay. How much you had to drink tonight?
What?
Not sure.
No. Not sure how much you had to drink tonight?
Robert Table out of Route 12
Okay. All right. You had drinks earlier at home?
Right.
Okay. And then where'd you go after that? Just right here?
And then they just decided to come here and sit.
Okay.
Just now. This guy's obviously, you can tell his speech and shit. He's been drinking, right? He's fucked up. This gets worse.
Go home and came here and sat. That's it? That's all we did?
Right.
Who else is at home with you?
Just me.
Just you? Okay. We gonna meet up with somebody, or you just come here and sit?
No, just me and sit and no.
Okay. So you look, you were passed out when I got here. Were you sleeping when I got here?
No, I was sitting awake.
Sitting awake?
I wasn't awake. I mean, I wasn't asleep.
Okay. So you don't live with anybody?
Right.
Okay. Okay. So you don't have your license on you? You don't have your wallet?
I think oh, I do have it. Yeah. I thought I forgot. I thought I didn't grab it.
Not helping himself.
Thank you. One 3 issue.
Now, in all reality, if he's just sitting there and he's not in if he's not on private property that's somebody else's, if he's on public property and he's sitting there in his car, they don't have no reason to get your ID or anything. That's not a traffic stop. If you're not breaking the law, the only way that they could actually get him for drunk driving would be if his keys are in the ignition. If his keys are not in the ignition, he's not in the commission of operating a motor vehicle at all. Okay. But if you're, and I'm not telling you how to get away with a DUI or anything, but I'm telling you, if you're drunk and you're sitting in a car and you got the keys in the ignition and you're behind the wheel, even if it's off, they can get you with a DUI. Okay.
That's care and control.
Yep. So, but if he's just sitting there, there's no keys in the ignition. And, you could even come up with any kind of story. Yeah, I was here at the park and I had some drinks and I'm trying to sit here and, get myself together so I can go home. Maybe I'll call an Uber or some shit like that. You can make up anything. But this guy, that's why, listen, most of the time, don't even talk to the fucking cops. But anyway, this guy's a hoot. You'll like this.
I have Robert. Give me a couple minutes, right, Robert?
Okay.
Roger.
Because I'll tell you something for real, too. If you get a DUI, all right, and trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Those that know me know I know what I'm talking about. If you get a DUI, that wasn't the first time you drove drunk. Okay? Only on a very, very, very rare occasions does somebody ever, for the first time they ever drive after they've been drinking, get caught. So when you get a DUI, that means that you've done this several times and the odds were up for you, or you did something near that got you caught. All right. But it wasn't your first time. And most often than not, if you've had a DUI and you continue to drink, now this isn't 100%, but most often than not, if you've had a DUI and you continue to drink, you will most assuredly get another one. Okay? I've seen it, lived it, seen it happen to others. Because after all, as I stated before, if you've gotten one, that ain't the first time you've done it. You ain't going to convince me of it. You're in danger, So you better get it under check for real. Now, there's rare occasions. It's not a steadfast rule, but I would say most often 9 out of 10, and if not 8 out of 10 times, I'd say closer to 9 out of 10 that what I just said is going to fit. So, take it for what it's worth, but, you're looking at somebody who's lived it, experienced it, came back from it. Don't ever want to go back to it. I can tell you that shit.
It's called forming a pattern.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because most of the part of it is the way you think, too.
Yeah.
You're liable to think, well, shit. Listen, I had a couple of drinks, made it home fine, no problem whatsoever. Right?
Right.
And you say to yourself, well, that's fine. Now you've set yourself to where you have a limit, right? You're still over the legal limit, but you're at your limit where you think you still drive fine. Well, listen, I thought I was still driving fine. At points where I had to close one eye so I only saw one fucking line. You know what I'm saying? That way I only saw one road. And I'm driving down the fucking road and I'm fine. I'm fine. So he say, "You okay to drive?" I'd say, "I'm fine." What about all the other fucking people on the road? They're not fine. Not with me out there doing that shit. Fuck no. I'm just lucky that I never killed anybody. You know, I can only think what that would be like. And it's happened. You know, it can happen to anybody. But that's I'm fine, Ossifer, right? Yeah. And here's the thing, too. I justify too. How many beers you have? Two or three? Well, I didn't tell him it was 40 ounces. Fuck, you know? But in my mind, that's 2 or 3 beers. See? Fucking, you mind fuck yourself.
Well, if he's getting arrested, he did the work for us. Who's arrested? So if he got arrested, he did the work for us. If he's, you're not getting what I'm saying because you haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, it's the drunk person doing something he'd never do sober.
He's cuffed. That's all I'm saying. Like, Robert, do me a favor. Step out.
He said he's cuffed. Now he's been in the car the whole time. So what the fuck's he talking about? He's got his own handcuff.
Okay.
Oh, Lordy.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Something wrong. Look at that.
Okay. All right, Robert. So how much you had to drink tonight?
Oh my God. It's junk hanging out.
You're not sure
blur it
about
out
that, right?
because the junk's hanging out. No.
Okay. Do you have any friends in the area that can come pick you up to get you out of here?
I don't think so.
Not. You have nobody can come pick you up.
Hang on. There's a part 2. Hold on. There's a part 2. I can't believe it. So one has to ask themselves, what in the fuck was this dude doing sitting in his car wearing women's lingerie? Oh my God, and it's so gross. And drunk. What the hell kind of a party did this guy come from, man? Rocky Horror Picture Show, probably. I don't know.
Because you can't drive. You're in no shape to drive at this point. All right, so I'm trying to give you a break tonight. All right, because your vehicle is here parked and everything like that. But I need you to get it right out of here, though. That's going to be the issue, okay? I can't let you walk.
I agree.
Okay? Do you have an Uber app or anything?
You can't let you walk. And I don't want to put your nasty ass in my squad car neither, man.
That he can't unsee that.
Oh, fuck. Listen, think about that. Can you imagine? Okay, well, can you walk home from here? Yes, sir. All right, go right ahead. You're driving down the road one night coming home and they pass that shit on the side of the road. No way. You'd be like, fuck, I'm saving my dash cam. Shit. No way. This guy, come on.
Do you have anybody that would be available?
Okay. You want to make an attempt to make a phone call? Do you have an Uber? Do you have a taxi number? Do you have money on you?
I'm not signed up on Uber.
All right. Do you have money? Do you have a credit card on you?
I do have that.
All right, Robert. Make an attempt to get out of here, all right?
He reaches in his ass and pulls out some credit cards. Ooh. Oh, my God.
I'll give you a few minutes, okay? All right. You get your phone on you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. All right, Robert.
I will not drive.
No, make some phone calls, all right? I'm gonna hang out and give you some time to make some phone calls. Maybe contact a taxi, something like that. Get yourself out of here, okay?
Sure.
Get yourself brought home, okay? Because you can't sit here and you can't drive, okay?
How long do I?
I'll give you some time. I'll give you a little bit, all right? So go ahead and get your phone, make some phone calls, okay?
Call your
The nice
mom.
officer lets Robert off the hook and gives him some time to find a safe ride home.
Robert, how you making out?
I'm trying to figure it out because I'm not used to. I think I got it.
All right, you doing Uber?
Yes.
I've never done an Uber.
Yeah, driver details in a couple minutes, 4 minutes. All right.
Oh no, that's not true. We have.
So you have one coming, looks like?
I think so. I'm not sure. I've never used it.
Okay.
I forgot that's how I got around up in Vegas. We took an Uber, but my wife dealt with all that shit. I didn't want to fuck with it. I was fucking ripped stoned anyways. Hi, Cookie Monster. Ryan, what's going on, cuz?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Not a whole lot. So we think this guy might have been coming from a party at Brenda's, man. Have you got a gander?
Party? A Brenda party?
Yeah, you see this guy? Check him out.
What kind of a party was it?
You be the judge.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Robert, make sure you leave the car here and take your keys with you, okay? Yes, sir. Make sure you turn your lights off.
Police decide to head out and leave Robert to his own devices, but it's not long until officers encounter the suspect again.
1-3 issue. Let that vehicle stop again. This time it's gonna be in his driveway.
He went and drove out of that motherfucker. And they know he's drunk. They were going to let him go ahead and call the Uber.
Uh-oh. Busted.
Robert, I gave you the benefit of the doubt, bro.
Sorry.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Stay right there.
Okay.
Roger.
I give you the benefit of the doubt, man.
Are you good?
I thought I would.
You know, you thought you can make it, right?
Be done.
All right, take your handcuffs off. Take your cuffs off your feet.
I don't have the.
Okay, well, I
You
have
thought you
keys.
can make
The
it.
same keys.
Probably.
Motherfucker's wearing handcuffs and women's lingerie. Hammered,
Maybe
drunk.
Maybe he escaped the party.
And women's lingerie?
Yeah, you didn't see him earlier, man.
But why and women's lingerie?
I don't know. I guess maybe it's part of the outfit or something. He was,
I guess so, bro.
he was partying.
He escaped the party. It was some kind of initiation, and he got away.
Maybe so.
He's a college pledge or something. No, he's a little too old for that shit. I don't know, man. Some kind of.
Well, you never know. I mean,
but there's people like this out there, man. What's this?
yeah, there are.
That's pretty
Cops
good.
got no keys to the handcuffs.
It's the same type. It's got should be.
Came from the Masons Lodge.
Just those damn Masons, man. They have all the fun, don't they?
You have anything in your pockets that can hurt me? No, but I got a gerbil in my ass.
Take them off your feet too. What's that? Take them off your ankles also.
Yes.
Your ankles too. Grab your ankles.
Oh, he's got handcuffs. He's got cuffs on his ankles too.
Wow. Oh, so he already had the cuffs on it. Okay,
Yeah,
I get it.
they're him.
I
They're
was
his.
confused. He's like, hang on, I got the key somewhere.
Look. You want to see how this motherfucker look? Hang on, let me go back. There.
Now he's gonna hog tie himself.
Look at
boy.
that. Yeah.
That's a disgusting look there, bro. That's
Yeah. I mean, that's just
Money, do you credit card on your credit card on you?
amazing. What's up with that?
Maybe try a full dress. not
I mean,
a
so,
thong.
yeah. I mean,
On your first time,
think
yeah.
about that. The cops roll up on him. He's wearing this women's lingerie with his junk hanging out, drunker and pissed. And they say, "Okay, listen, we're gonna let you go ahead and call an Uber or some shit
Wow.
and go home." Right?
He's
That's like a
gorgeous.
get out of fucking jail free card right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So he sits there with his Uber thing and he's fucking around with it. The cop says, "I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, right? We're going to roll up out of here. We trust you to go ahead and do that, right?" And then they roll up on his ass. He done drove home drunk anyways, and they fucking pop him for a DUI. And here's the kicker. That poor bastard's going to go to jail like that. He's going to be in a fucking holding cell wearing that shit, man.
He's gonna have a sore butthole by the time the night's over, isn't he?
I can't even imagine, man, what that would be like. I mean, I'm thinking from the perspective. I don't know if you've ever been to jail or not, man.
No, never been to jail, but I don't need to go to find out that it's bad. Trust me.
Oh. Well, usually, like, county, that kind of thing, right? What happens is, like, you get arrested and like I've been arrested for DUI and shit, right? So they take you and they put you in what they call holding.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in there with everybody that's like been arrested.
Yeah, for everything.
You're in there in holding until they are going to book you. And then after they book you, they put you back in holding until they decide what's going to happen with you. If you're going to go into the population, whether you're going to, whether you're going to stay, whether you're going to make bail, that kind of shit, right? So you're sitting there in holding. And can you imagine you're in there and there's all different sorts of people in there, but then they bring this motherfucker in there and set him down? What's going through your mind? You're already 3 sheets from a DUI anyways, and you see this motherfucker come walking into the jail cell.
I'm thinking he's an easy target.
My
They're gonna give him
God.
some, I think. I think he's
If I have
gonna
anything
get
to prove, it's going to be on him.
Listen, this is some crazy shit. There was I mean, and it's like that even like with like when I got a DUI that resulted. I have more
more than one.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I have had a total of 6.
Jesus. Didn't learn the first time.
No, hard-headed motherfucker, boy.
I guess so.
No, I'll tell you. But in Michigan, the third one ends up being which was actually my 4th, but spread over a period of time. The first one had already dropped off my record, right?
You got lucky, huh?
Yeah. So anyway, my 4th became my 3rd, and that was a mandatory 1 year, right? Wow. And so I remember I went to court and got sentenced to a year in the county jail, and I had to go sit up in the jury box, and they handcuff you to the other defendants that have been sentenced. The next guy to get sentenced was this guy that he was in there because he went into the dentist's office where his wife was a receptionist, and he beat her head in with a fucking claw hammer in the fucking office in front of God and everybody. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's like there's not really any kind of segregation at this point, It's like here I'm with murderers and shit, and it's like, oh fuck. All I did was get tore up and drive a car, and I'm in here with a motherfucker who killed his wife with a goddamn hammer. What? Yeah, I've had
hard time. You got hard times when you got to use a hammer.
Listen, I've had some really crazy, right? I've had some crazy ass experiences, man. One time I took a train from here to California, right? And the name of the train was called the California Zephyr. And we were going through an area, it was coming through an area called Crown Hill, West Virginia.
Crown Hill.
And I'm sitting back there. I'm sitting in my little chair, whatever, my seat. And I'm fucking around with something on my phone or whatever. All of a sudden, I feel the brakes of the train slam on.
Oh, no.
And I'm kind of lurch forward. You hear this screeching noise, and you hear this thump, 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 thump underneath of the fucking car. And I was like, oh, my God, what was the fuck was that? Right? And the guy came back. The conductor, he came back through. He said, folks, we're going to be delayed for a while. We've had an incident. And what it was is a dude committed self-deletion by jumping in front of the fucking train I was on. And that thumping that I felt and heard on the floor of the fucking train car was his head.
Oh, no, you were in the same car? That's horrible.
The same car. This dude was like, you know how long it takes to stop?
Yes, I do.
Fucking train.
A mile or two.
So anyway, man, we were delayed there for like 2 hours.
Wow.
And I'm from what I could see, couldn't see much, but I went to the back car and I could see down the tracks because he jumped at the crossing. And they were way down. The crossing was where he jumped was way down, like maybe 120 yards, 100 yards from the back of the car.
Oh, wow, really?
The back car. And I was
Yeah.
looking out the window and I couldn't see anything because it was getting dark, but they had the fire department there and they was bringing fire hoses up and spraying off the underside.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're probably like, why do they have fire hoses?
Yeah, and they was coming through with flashlights, all
to watch
looking
the
up
gore off. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
before we could go on our way and shit. And
wow.
And what was sad was that, I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, that was that dude that we heard underneath of us. I'm thinking, this sucks. And I'm hearing people on the train going, God damn it, this is going to delay me by 2 fucking hours.
All they can think about is how long it's going to take.
Yes. And I'm thinking, it was a human being that we just ran over, man.
It was. Wow, that's
I couldn't believe how callous the people are. It's just amazing the shit out of me, man.
It's pretty sad.
Real crazy shit going on, man.
Yeah, people hate to see animals get hurt, but they don't have a problem seeing people get hurt.
Yeah, but they videotape the people getting happened. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'll usually call 911, then I'll film them. Like I'll call 911 first.
Hey, do you guys want to see something really cool? And you can get these online. Although I don't necessarily, like this model so much, but I think it's really kind of a cool thing to have because I like little curio type shit.
Right.
And I'm thinking about looking for one to get. This is pretty cool. Wait till you see this thing.
What?
You can get it with a light up stand.
Oh, cool.
What? That would be fucking dope, man. Look at that.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool. Inside of a sphere? That's pretty trippy. That's pretty trippy.
Yeah. I think that's pretty fucking wild, man.
It is.
And that's you can get this. I got another one.
I mean, it depends on how much you want for it, of course, but
I don't
What's
get
that
it.
now? What'd you think?
It depends on how much they want for it, of course, but
Oh, let me take a look. Let me see. I think it left a link up here. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hang on, here we go. Okay, so with base one, which is the standard price, let me just show it over here. Why not? Oh, because that's not the right fucking page. That's why. So let me do this. And let me do this. And let me do this. Okay. All right, y'all see that? So with this little base right here, it's $24.99, and it's just
$25.
glued on.
Oh, it's a little tiny thing. Okay. I thought it was like a big, like coffee table size thing.
Oh, what? This crystal ball?
Yeah. I thought it was bigger than that.
Oh no. It's
like,
not
okay,
really
$25. That's not too bad.
I've got one that's got Metatron's cube in it, and it's about this big around.
Right.
Yeah, it's about like that. It's pretty cool though. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see, base number 2, a little more elegant, as you can see.
Yeah, gold. Yeah, okay. So it's just a crystal ball.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it's laser etched inside.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's laser. Yeah, I was gonna say it's laser, right?
See all the relief. I think that's pretty cool.
It is pretty neat.
I like them when they light up, though. I've got a light up base on my Metatron's cube. There's one silver.
Well, yeah, you can probably get a base for it.
We went up $10 for the light up one. It's with that base right there. It's still only $24.99.
It's not bad.
The gold one, same thing. Now with the one that lights up, and it changes colors and shit too. That one right there is what, $34.99. You could probably go ahead and buy the base for less.
Yeah, I would say you get the base on the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
There's one that's wood that lights up.
I wouldn't mind having like a big one, like one you could put on the coffee table
Yeah, yeah.
with a real glass dome over it and everything. Just represent, not necessarily exacting, but just a
Now
representation.
that's like the base I've got with my Metatron's cube.
Yeah, and it's got a light in it.
Like that, and it lights
So you
up.
just tell it,
If you push it one time, it'll fade and change colors. You push it another time, and then you can select a color for it to be stagnant. Just that color. So it's kind of cool.
That's pretty.
I like shit like that. Yeah, it's too bad they don't have. Now that one costs more. Look at that, $47.90, $44.99. Shit, no, I could get these bases right here probably for about $8 or $9.
If you ordered them in bulk, you could probably get the little globes for cheaper than that.
Yeah, they got it so that if you save 5%, if you get two. So at the
Have you ever
cheapest
seen
one,
that flat Earth watch?
no.
It's supposed to be like a couple $100,000 or something.
Well, they got other shit.
I think it's like I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it shows the motion of everything. Like
well, there's an app for that. I mean, but
here's a clock.
I guess
it's like that old clocks in Prague or something.
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
But it's like if you have one, then you're a flat earther, because you wouldn't have one unless you were a flat earther.
Good God, they take everything. It don't matter. I think they even take food stamps. Visa, MasterCard, whatever this one is this a different kind? Apple Pay, Google Pay, Discover, something called JCR. I have no idea what this thing over here is.
That's probably the Jewish network or something.
You got look at Klarna, Amazon. You can use any kind of thing. Tell you what I'll do, people. I'll put this down. Anybody that's interested in that, because I think it's kind of cool. I'll probably end up getting one.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll buy one, but I do like it.
Well, I collect shit like that, man. I've got I've got crystal balls. I've got clear ones. I've got faceted ones. I've got the one with Metatron's cube in it, and then I got it in a thing with my curio cabinet where I've got like all my gemstones and little miniature fucking military vehicles and just all kinds of curios. One of these days I'm gonna have to just do a video on the shit in the shelves of my curio cabinet. It'll fascinate.
I got Hot Wheels in my curio cabinet.
Oh my God. I
had been
crazy shit.
For an analog barometer for a long time, and I finally found one at the Google store. It's got the analog barometer and a thermometer and humidity gauge, and it's all analog.
Oh no, really?
And then I was looking online about how a barometer works. Like you can make a barometer with a glass tube, a closed-end glass tube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just seal a gas in there, yeah.
And a container of mercury.
Mm-hmm.
So you fill that glass tube up. You can look it up and see how a mercury barometer works.
I have a what the Torricelli? I have a Torricelli barometer with on a big piece of wood, and it's a Torricelli barometer. A friend of mine found it in an abandoned house.
Oh, really? You found it in an abandoned house? That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
What makes it work?
Displacement, man.
Pretty much.
It's a piece of wood, or what? How does it work?
No, it's just like what you were describing. It's that's called a Torricelli barometer.
Oh,
the tube is mounted on this plaque of wood. It's about 3.5 feet tall. Let me show you a picture.
So there's mercury inside it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's full of
So
mercury.
there's like a
Yeah.
pool of mercury inside the wood.
No,
like a mercury inside the wood.
No, it's in a tube. I'll show you a picture. Hang on.
So how it is that the atmospheric pressure presses down on the mercury in the container.
Right, but if it's not sealed in the tube, it won't do that. It has to be inside the tube.
Yeah, but the tube is in a pool
Yeah,
of mercury.
yeah. Of course, it's mounted to a piece of wood, yeah, or plastic, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's just like this one. Hold on, I'm gonna bring this up.
So the space in the top of the barometer in the tube, that's supposedly a vacuum, because you fill up the tube and then you put your finger on the tube and turn it upright, and then the vacuum forms when the mercury sinks down. And it's a supposed vacuum, like it can't be a true vacuum.
So that's kind of like the one I have. Let me bring up another one that shows the entire apparatus. Let me see.
I was just trying to wrap my head around how that works, how the mercury doesn't just all come out. Oh yeah, I guess because it's a vacuum. When you stand it up, it automatically forms that space in the top. And does the tube have to be a certain length, or?
Well, yeah, the graduation on the meter can be adjusted for the length of the tube, but generally they're usually quite long to give an accurate reading. Let me give you
it's calibrated in inches of mercury, and right now it's at 29.2 inches of mercury. It says on the dial.
See how this is? It comes down and loops up.
Adriana. Oh, sorry.
So, yeah. I got one of those in the other room.
So it's handy. Yeah, you can see if it's really low and it's going down fast, then it's probably going to rain.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of a Admiral Fitzroy weather indicator? Uses crystals in a solution, and you can predict. It'll tell you storms, if storms are on the way, based on the way that the crystals react inside the solution. They're really cool. It's an old method used by mariners. Pretty cool thing. Look that up, an Admiral Fitzroy weather indicator. You can usually get them with a Galileo thermometer too, as a set. Usually I've seen them sold that way. Let me see if I got anything. We're coming up
They've
on.
got the digital weather stations at the store, but you can't find the analog ones anymore.
No. It's they want you beholden to all this tech. They're going to immerse you in this fucking tech, into this EMF radiation, all this brainless fucking bullshit. They're going to keep immersing us into it more and more all the time. I mean, look at it now. There was a time when I was like, oh my God, I can't believe people want to take a telephone with them someplace, man. I leave the house to get away from the fucking phone. Now, people can't survive without that fucking thing in their pocket. It's got everything on it.
I don't even take my cell phone into the store. I leave it at home.
I mean, that's crazy shit too, man. And they've got it set up now. Like if you're at Walmart, you'll get a Facebook message and shit. If that thing detects you there, if you're like subscribed to their page or whatever on Facebook, and they'll start inundating you with fucking coupons and advertisements. It's insane, man. Oh yeah, there's another thing too. I heard that while Donald Trump was working at the McDonald's, he also fixed the ice cream machine. So
Permanently?
Of course. He made ice cream great again. Criminy. What is this? Kamala Harris has been caught giving the same scripted speech multiple times at multiple rallies. All right, let's see.
We already knew that. That's not new news. That's old news.
This is quite creative. This is quite creative. Wait till you see this. This is pretty cool.
He said he wanted to get more experience at McDonald's than Kamala had.
Yeah. The dude's a good troll. He really is. But check this out. This is for real. You've seen the one with the news media, right? Watch this.
Right.
She even makes the same fucking hand gestures.
The same noises too. That's creepy.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That is
No,
extremely creepy.
Right there, that would be, I would make that part of my torture tape. Okay. Yeah. I would have that on there, and then her and Hillary both laughing.
Right. Yeah, because they laugh so awfully.
I mean, Jesus, I would be like, I'll give you the nuclear secrets, dude. Just shut that off.
Just don't speak.
I don't care. Patriotism be damned. Just stop.
Don't speak another word.
Can't you just be humane and waterboard me? God. Oh, here's something I found. What's this say? Why they lie about the shape of the earth. Now, I know we all have different theories on that. Faceplant, why do you think there would be? I think we're all on the same page. We know that this has been a monumental lie perpetrated to mankind. What do you think the motive is? Why would they lie, Faceplant? Why do you think?
I think it's the transhuman agenda.
Well, I mean, they could do a transhuman agenda without the Earth being a globe, couldn't they?
Well, everything's all part of the same. Everything's all part of the same nonsense. Big Bang, evolution, dinosaurs, nukes. It's all part of the same crap.
So basically a turning your back on creation type thing.
Yeah, remove
in a nutshell.
God from our consciousness.
Valid. I think because as I've been looking over this kind of shit for many, many years, that I've realized that many times these psyops, these different things that they pull, are often multifaceted in their purpose. And so, yeah, I think that there is one purpose of it.
All the shit working together, right? It's all part of the same program.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And this is why I know for full fucking well that this final experiment's a bunch of goddamn nonsense.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Well, the whole thing about it is this, they've gone to this amount of trouble to convince mankind that they live on a ball. Do you really think they're going to let a couple of YouTubers go down there and not see a 24-hour sun? Now, we know it's not going to happen. Right?
How are they going to get it? How are they going to do it?
Well, I don't think they are. I think we're going to be right back the same fucking argument.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's going to be a big, huge hit piece made. Absolutely. It's going to be the Behind the Curve 2.0. I can almost certainly guarantee you that. So, I mean, there's a huge, what I've called it, like a final offensive. This is what I've called it before, like a final offensive to sell the globe once and for all. And it's not taking very well. And much to their dismay, many, like myself, have said, well, a 24-hour sun in Antarctica is going to tell us that there's an anomaly with the sun that we don't understand. It's not going to suddenly turn the Earth into a ball. It's not going to suddenly make these physical and scientific impossibilities suddenly possible. Right? And that is not sitting well with these fools because they put a lot of effort into this psyop. And the fact that it's not working on a great many of us is really bugging the shit out of them. Now, one of the things that is of their major delight is that now that they've pushed this out there, is that it's causing a rift. It's causing a rift amongst a lot of your favorite flat earth people that you used to listen to or that you still listen to. You got people out there now starting the I Hate Jaron campaign. Listen, Jaron is a good guy. I like him, and he's on his own thing, right? Stop just listening to other people, though, okay? Whatever Jaron does or doesn't do, whatever I do or do not do, whatever Dave Weiss does or does not do, surely you've come to believe that the earth is flat on your own and not just because somebody else that you admire said so. Am I correct in that assumption? Hopefully I am.
Yeah.
That's no better than people believing that the earth's a globe because somebody that they admire said so. That's not using this.
I try to stay away from saying the earth is flat, but I do reject the globe completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the water is level, the known world. All the water's connected and it's all level. So that's all I need.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like, and then they try to get all pedantic and want to go, well, what about there's mountains and there's valleys and shit. And this is why I say Earth appears to me by all experience and observation.
I think about a topographic map.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
On your phone, you've got a terrain map, and you can plot a course on your phone, and it'll show you a cross section of the elevation. Up peaks and valleys. The elevation
right.
from one point to the other. There's no curve, and it's right on your phone. So.
Well, here's the best way I get around all their bullshit. I just say the earth appears to me by all experience and observation to be a level, topographical, stationary plane contained within a dynamic fluid pressure system. Now, if they want to question the containment, well, we all know where that leads, right? So that's how I know that the pressure system is contained, because without containment, you can't have the pressure. So then they always want to get on to, oh, what's your containment? I don't fucking know what it's made of or how far away it is or any other such nonsense. What I do know is that it's impossible to have a fluid pressure system such as we do without containment. Okay. And if you think that you can prove otherwise, by all means, please do. And whatever you do, don't just point up at the sky at some object and then tell me a story about it. Say, look at Jupiter. It's a gas giant.
I'm kind of past the flat Earth debate, although I still I get caught up into it sometimes. I want to know what it really is. Like, I mentioned to you that it looks like if you're gonna go with a Pangea idea, that I'm thinking that the North Pole area is like the womb, the Earth's womb, and that's where the lands get born out of, and they move out. So the older lands are in the south. And if you look at the
Well, what evidence leads you
ice,
to believe that?
the way the ice comes out of the, if you watch icebergs calving in the north, video of icebergs calving, that ice has a vertical grain to it, and then it falls off. But in the Antarctic, all that ice is flat, and you can see the horizontal layering to it. So the ice in the north is completely different. So that's where I'm thinking the primary water, where the world tree used to be, or its electromagnetic or whatever you want to call it, impression is still there, and that water is still coming out in the north. So when it hits the artificial winter, it freezes. See, the old Russian artists, there's no before the 1800s, there's no depictions of winter in Russian art. So the climate was has changed, and I think it's artificial winter. It's like a big heat pump where the equatorial areas are way too hot than normal, and the northern and southern areas are cold. It's like a big refrigerator. They've hacked the Earth's systems. So I think winter is artificial in the first place, and it didn't happen very long ago.
Yeah, we do see depictions of on older maps, like, and specifically like the 1587 Urbano Monte map, which depicts Antarctica with flora and fauna and no ice. It depicts other regions that are slightly not the way that they are today, like areas of Africa that would be the Sahara Desert are no longer they weren't a desert then. And so it begs you to wonder what kind of cataclysm or series of cataclysms has occurred in that 500 years that would allow for topographical change such as we see in these maps. We really don't know. We have to stick to what we do know, what we can prove when we talk to these jokers, because they'll easily sidetrack you off into some other thing. I don't really subscribe to the Pangea idea. For one, the amount of time that the Earth's been around, I think the Earth is very young. I don't think it's these 4.5 billion years old or any other such nonsense like that. Although, yeah, I can see how you could go, yeah, look at this puzzle piece that fits together. But you can also look at two sides of a river and say, oh, look, these must have at one time been joined together, because you see the way that they both curve the same and everything. Well, that's not the case at all. It's just that the water carved that out in the same direction. And it was nothing more than currents. So it's kind of a cool idea in a way, but I don't know. That would take some serious shit to be moving that shit like they suggest would have to happen. And if it's happened very slowly, well, I don't think the Earth is old enough to support that kind of thing. But who knows? Who knows? I could be completely off mark. But this is a little short video while I go get me a cookie.
Yeah, well, our timelines, our calendars are crazy.
Oh yeah, they've really fucked that up. This is back what I was asking is why they would lie about the shape of the Earth. This little video I found talking about that, and I'm gonna go grab a cookie real quick.
The narrative is that the flat Earth hasn't been around that long, but
Oh, wait.
My
bad.
And even with our calendar system, there's like an added 800 or 1,000 years in there.
Yeah.
To give them a buffer to explain all this.
Well, look at our months.
Architecture and everything.
Look at our months. What's octo mean? Means 8, right? Why is October the 10th month? What's deca mean? Deca means 10. Why is December the 12th month? Sept is 7. Why is it the 9th month? Uh-oh, something kind of fucked up here. See? Ooh, a nocturne.
I just like to just kind of open the door to somebody's mind to say, this isn't what you're told it is. Like the moon causing tides and the moon maintaining the same phase as it goes across the sky, and so that's obviously not the Earth's shadow when the sun's in the sky at the same time. And there's other things. There's whatever you call them, the lunar nodes, or what. There's other objects up there, Rahu, Ketu. I was thinking it'd be kind of good to have a snake in my garden. Keep the pests down, keep the slugs and the rodents down.
We'll get them black snakes around here, man. My wife can't stand them. And I'm like, don't kill them. I think you hate the mice more than you hate the black snake, man. Right? So we keep them around. What the hell? Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, this is like, I was going to say, you look up at the sky. People always say, well, where's your firmament? And I'm like, it's right there, right up above you. And they're like, well, how high is it? So, I don't fucking know. I ain't never been up there to measure it. Well, how do you know it's there? Well, you're breathing, ain't you? I said, well, how come I can't see it? And I said, well, how do you know you don't see it? Well, I don't see anything. What do you see the sky, don't you?
Just those barometers are proving we're in an enclosed. You need a container to hold a atmospheric
Ask
No
him why you can't see
pressure.
gravity.
We have a gradient. So what? You have to have pressure to have the gradient. Okay. So, well, the gradient is caused by gravity. Well, can you prove that gravity causes gases to form into a gradient? Can you prove gravity affects gases? Can you show a downward acceleration of air due to gravity? No, you can't. Not without going the gradient. No, that's your claim. You're looking at the sky and telling me a fantasy story. Now show me proof of it. I can't.
I collect rainwater. I have a couple 1,000-liter tanks.
Wow.
And I siphon water from one container to the other, like across the yard, and it siphons automatically. As long as that hose is full already, you can move the middle of that hose up and down, and you can make it go up and down as many times as you want. It's going up, the water's going up and down and up and down.
Our universe.
Leveling over to the next container. That's not gravity doing that. That's atmospheric pressure.
Yeah, you're right. No, gravity has no effect on gas. It doesn't have any effect on air, even if it was real. Okay. We're talking about where people don't understand that there's never a condition in which you are not subject to a medium. Everything is subject to a medium in one form or another. And it's going to be reactive to that medium.
Yeah,
Okay, so,
like if I have 2 containers of water connected by a hose that goes up and down as many or as high and low as you want, that hose, you can pull it up 10 feet above the water level and it's still going to siphon over.
Yeah.
So that those 2 containers of water and the water in the hose, that's one medium. It's one medium, right?
Right. Well, I mean, any object, when they're trying to say that which is responsible for what they call gravity is actually being held by the cause. That's why they run into a fucking roadblock. Okay, they don't understand that what they call gravity is wholly dependent upon the object within the mediums, the ratio to the density of that medium. You see, the medium itself it's there, it's contained, it's not being held anywhere. This is the dumb shit that these people try to get into, and it's a mind fuck. But you have to step out of the fish tank and look. You go, oh, I get it now. I get it.
They're like George Bush on The Simpsons trying to make the slinky go down the stairs.
I had never got that to be very successful myself.
I remember trying when I was a kid to get that slinky to go down the stairs. But
so I just want to leave. Oh, okay.
There is a slinky experiment. Like if you take a slinky and collapse it, apparently I haven't tried it. But if you drop it, the whole collapse it and then drop it vertically, the bottom of the slinky will drop first. And it stretch out, and then the rest of it will follow. If it was gravity, the whole thing would just drop as a compressed, right?
Okay, well, it's the same thing as if you drop a deck of cards like that too. They're going to separate. Pretty sure that's what's going on. Anyway, I got to get off here real quick. It's 3.5 hours. That's about long enough, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. If you haven't seen The Principle, look it up on one of your video platforms. I'm pretty sure it's probably on YouTube. It's pretty good. This is a little thing Robot Polisher did about this, and then I'm going to sign off for the night. And I think this is pretty cool. Great show. Great show. I'm going to look while this is playing. I'm going to go and look and see if it's on YouTube, and then I can put the link, because if it is, I'm going to watch it here in a little bit.
The principle is simple. It tells us we're nothing special. tucked away in some forgotten corner of a universe in which there are far more galaxies than people. We're nothing special. There are no special places or directions in the universe. No center, no edges, no up, no down, no left or right.
The universe actually came from nothing. In fact, every measurement we can make about the universe is really consistent with a universe that came from nothing.
Nothing. Generally understood as the absence of anything, but sometimes used in modern cosmology to refer to an unseen form of something.
Something from nothing. A key concept in modern cosmology.
So what did science defeat? What did they defeat in 1600, 1700? What did they really overtake?
Church.
Church. Okay. So if they admitted after 200 years, oops, the earth is not round, it's actually flat, what would be the first thing people would go back to? Do you think people would still follow science, or do you think they would go back to the church?
Big Bang cosmology assumes that the only thing that exists is the physical world. There's nothing beyond that.
People want to save the existing models because there's a lot that's invested in them.
The standard model is a really good model. It fits the observation very, very well.
We have a conflict between what is a well-established mainstream thought and what is the testimony of experiments.
They've essentially run into dead ends.
This is the moment of truth because they have nowhere to go.
The principle is wrong. It could mean that everything we think we know about our universe is wrong. It was the natural assumption of the ancient world to see the movements in the heavens as centered upon us. From the location of Stonehenge, near Salisbury, England, we can see the standing ruins of what may be the very first astronomical observatory, constructed from an Earth-centered, fixed viewpoint around which the heavens revolve.
If you look at pictures of medieval cosmology, then you see not only the Earth and the planets, but the outer sphere. Beyond that, you would have heaven. So that the Earth was considered to be at rest, ultimately, with respect to heaven, with respect to the throne of God.
Copernican revolution is the revolution of the mobility of the Earth. The Copernican principle leads to, ultimately, the idea that there is no God.
That we are nothing compared to the splendorous universe of ours.
I think it was one of the greatest things that ever happened to us. We had this arrogance, and we got it knocked out of us. And we realized that actually
we're insignificant and the future's miserable. So those are the two things we've learned. It always seems like we're the center of the universe, but we're not.
There's nothing special about humans.
So there are probably 100 billion solar systems in our galaxy alone.
There's nothing special about the Earth. In fact, our universe may be one among many universes. If our Earth really turns out to be special, then I would say, hey, God made a mistake.
We don't like being special, which is crazy, because we're nothing special.
We're also very brief. Our 100-year lifespans. So how could we possibly be significant? Giordano Bruno got burnt at the stake the year 1600 for writing about an infinite space.
He was burned alive in the streets of Rome in the year 1600 for simply saying that there are other worlds out there, that there's nothing essentially special about our world. So why would the Catholic Church burn this person alive in the streets of Rome? Because think about it. If there are other worlds, then the question is, are there people on these other planets? If so, do they have a savior? If so, do they have a pope? If so, how many saints do they have? Imagine 1 billion popes, 1 trillion saints. How many trinities are there? The mind goes crazy contemplating a universe of universes. And so what did the church do? They simply burned them alive.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
Gotta love robot polish.
Bruno told his inquisitors at his sentencing, "It may be that you fear more to deliver judgment upon me than I fear judgment. Henceforth, science would increasingly assert its independence from the influence of the church.
Science would be destroyed. Science would be, it would be the worst day they could ever possibly have, admitting that they were wrong about this.
People have had a brick wall placed in front of them because science has said certain things, and they said, you must stay over in this category here, and you cannot go into the God category because that's going to destroy our science.
People would go back to the Bible and say, oh, look, it could be literally true now.
In trying to figure out all these anomalies that they see in the universe that don't fit the Copernican principle, what this leads to is creating a whole bunch of universes.
I'm a great advocate of the multiverse.
There could be an infinite number of
Billions and billions.
I call it a multiverse.
Somewhere in all those universes, there's going to be something that's not geocentric, you see. And that's how we can get out of the problem.
It's not fine-tuning. It's not religious, like some people think.
You can take anything you want and you can explain it by the logic.
Don't confront the face of God in the multiverse. You're just the result of a mathematical equation splitting infinitely.
It's a strange time in cosmology. It's an interesting time because we don't understand anything.
If you understand nothing, you understand everything.
So not only is all the evidence suggestive that we came from nothing, but the laws of physics tell us that it's to be expected that something comes from nothing.
Now today, fortunately, we don't burn astronomers alive anymore, which I think is a good thing.
You're describing something that is a facet of what has been grappled with for time immemorial.
Yeah, bro. It's a good video. I put the link in the chat. I'm probably going to go here and watch it in a few minutes. Grab some grub, something to eat. Got anything you guys want to leave us with before we say goodnight to all the folk?
I did, but I forgot.
Welcome to my world, bro.
Have a good night, everybody.
Right on. You too, Faceplant. Thanks for coming up tonight. We'll
A
see you
demon
next time.
stole my thoughts there.
Yeah, it'll come back around. It'll come back around. They always do. Cookie Monster, how about you, Ryan? What do you got, bro?
Well, you know, I ain't got much. Good show, though.
Isn't Rogers doing a show? You and Roger doing a show or something?
Yeah, we're going to do one right after you're done here.
All right. Yeah, man. So put your link down there in the chat so everybody can get over there and check that out.
As soon as he posts it, I will, sir.
Oh, he ain't even posted it yet. Okay. Well,
yeah, he said something about 11 o'clock, so keep looking for it.
Oh, yeah, 11 o'clock his time. Ha, ha, ha. All right. Well, thanks for coming
I think
up.
he said 11:45 or something like that. I don't know.
That's 107 where I'm at right here. So, all right, Ryan, we'll see you next time, buddy. Thanks for coming on. And I want to thank everybody who showed up in the chat. People that I maybe didn't. There's Alan Nordstrom. I had a few other people pop in here that I didn't see. HE Media, I think. Sue Ratio came. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for showing up for us. Let's see, who else did I miss? Anybody? I think I pretty much got everybody. You guys have been busy over here in this chat. I looked at my analytics on the chat the other night, man. That thing was like fucking crazy. So yeah, y'all have a good time. I enjoy having y'all over here. We have a pretty good show. We have a good time. We just kind of blow our way through the fucking, what do they call it? The metaverse or some shit like that. Whatever. Anyway, that's what all the cool kids are calling it these days. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Anyway, like we always say, don't forget, Lord loves the working man. Don't trust Whitey and see your doctor and get rid of his ass because he'll probably kill you. And something Wong, he loves y'all. We'll see y'all next time on Sovereign Soul, Unchained Mind. Good night, everybody.